Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to The Darkest Hour. Tonight is episode 55, featuring OnePeg and TheSpudHunter. Very exciting. Let's go say hi to the gentlemen. See how everyone's doing. Hello, boys.
Hello.
Hey.
How's it going?
Hello.
Oh, we lost Donnie. Bye, Donnie.
Yeah, he's gone.
Bye, Donnie.
There he is.
I'm a moron.
back.
I gotta go pull my pizza out of the oven. Give me 1 second.
The
Gotta knock on the door.
ultimate start. The ultimate start to the podcast. Love that. Go get it.
Fucking eat this whole time. Just smack my lips in the microphone. Dude. You guys are gonna love it.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Yeah.
ASMR with
Okay.
Donnie. My least favorite stream. All right. Okay. Episode 55. We were supposed to have Katie on, just to let you guys know. I know I did announce that. My assumption is she's sleeping because she's a bit of a night owl, and that's totally fine. And also, disclaimer, I got really sick at GDC, the Game Developers Conference, last week, so I know I sound like shit. And yes, I know it's a meme that someone on the Darkest Hour is always sick, so I'll take the crown this week. Okay, Mr. Griffey, how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right. Took a second day off, so big chilling.
How dare you
cleaning.
take time off? Wow. Man.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. To be honest.
No, you should actually. Good for you.
2 days off, that's pretty bad.
A real weekend. Wow. Yeah. No, that's good.
Yeah, so
You gotta laugh or something. Jesus.
Yeah. You're
No.
you're dating, Jay.
I
You're
just
getting
been
out of the
cleaning.
house. You're getting out of the house. You're dating. That's
Well,
good.
I've been like kind of paranoid to say it, but someone who lives in my house about to have a very small human pop out of them. So like, feel like we should clean. You know, feel like we should get things ready. Not my baby, but I still feel a little obligated. That's all.
You seem like you're gonna be
Yeah.
you're gonna be a good dad one day. That's awesome.
Not my
Glad to
kid.
hear.
I
Long
ain't
ribs for
touching
baby,
that
dude.
thing.
Congrats, Jay.
Baseline. House should be generally clean if there's going to be a baby involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's also
qualities
a
of
good
great
excuse for
parent.
me to, get all the shit done I've been putting off, so why not? First impressions matter, yeah.
That's funny.
That's a bit Jay's nesting.
That's cute. It's very
Wait, what is
cute.
that? Is that a bird?
Whatever it is you're
what's
doing.
nesting?
Yeah, you're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
It's usually like the pregnant lady decides that she wants to start like cleaning up and getting everything like
Yeah.
household.
There you go.
ready
I
to
was
go.
waiting for that. I don't think it ever came, so I was just like, hello? Someone's got to do it, bro.
Anytime.
Mr. Donnie, how are you today, sir?
I'm good. Good. I'm wondering when the stork kind of shows up in that whole story because that's how babies are made. I think. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Thought you just
Yeah,
wait for the knock on the door or something.
I thought people just went to the proctologist like SpudHunter here and the baby came out that
Yeah.
way, but I don't know. I don't know shit. OnePeg and Spud, thanks for joining us. OnePeg, how are you, sir?
I'm good, man. I got to get on a plane in about 9 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, about 9 hours.
Where are you going?
Yeah. Going to San Antonio to shoot pew-pews with Donut Operator and Demo Ranch and
Hell yeah.
Brandon Herrera and apparently
he
Leon Lush is
win?
going to be there, and I haven't seen him in like 4 years. So, they're not done yet. I
Okay.
don't know.
He's like
they gotta have-
running for Congress, right?
Yeah, Brandon's running for Congress in the district that he lives in. They had like a prelim, like primary or whatever for the Republican candidate, and in order for the nominee to be the nominee, they have to get at least 50% of the popular vote. And Brandon and a couple other people took enough away from the incumbent to where they have to have a runoff now between Brandon and this other dude, Tony Gonzalez is his name.
Wow.
Hey,
So, yeah,
Tony.
Fuck
Yeah.
Tony,
So
Sorry.
and the thing is like now Tony's like social media people are trying to do this smear campaign and it's like embarrassingly bad because they just keep misquoting him out of context. And then somebody like Drewski will show up and like ratio the shit out of him with like a picture of a DeWalt like battery recharger or some shit. Like it's fucking hilarious. Like they're just trolling him right into the ground. It's amazing.
Oh shit.
It's amazing.
Wow. Well, enjoy
Good thought,
the
dude.
Yeah,
Fucking.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go shoot guns with a bunch of Republican rednecks, and it'll be a good time.
That sounds fun. What's
YouTuber
your
to congressman, dude.
what's your weapon of choice?
The last time I was there, and this time will be the same thing. This dude that goes by Toast FPS on Twitter. He's an arms manufacturer, has his FFL and everything. He showed up with every gun there has a fun switch, but he showed up there with an MP5 and an MP7, a couple of other SMGs. But the thing that I saw on the table that I wanted to shoot and didn't get an opportunity to is a Maxim 9, silencer called Maxim 9. If you haven't seen it, it looks like a RoboCop's gun. It's a 9mm handgun with an integrated suppressor on the front of the barrel. It makes it look like a space pistol, and it shoots at 900 RPM, and it shoots flat as hell. It's amazing. The thing is sick as hell.
What the?
So
fuck?
yeah, hopefully,
Wow.
he said that they lost a piece of it at the range, and they like hunted for it forever because I guess the ATF likes to have a field day with people that like lose pieces of their firearms. So he said he's got to weld it back in. If he can do that, then he's gonna bring it with him. Hopefully he does, because that's like the one thing I really want to shoot. But
Wow,
we'll see.
sick.
Either way, it's gonna be fun. Last time I got to shoot a Serbu BFG 50, so that thing was dope. Yeah, they told me not to shoot the target because the target would just not be a target anymore. So I had to like, shoot the ground next to the target.
Wow.
That was cool.
No, that sounds like a fun weekend. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time.
There's Spuddy. Spuddy, how are you, sir?
Just having my breakfast in my office.
Nice clean
Was that
area.
the right-
Yeah.
Was that the right cup?
Yeah, I'll wipe it down, disinfect and all that. Good. Really enjoying the patch. Really keen to shoot the shit about the game with you guys because I feel like it's probably the better state it's ever been. It's not perfect, but yeah, it's really good times at the moment. At least for me.
I agree.
Maybe I'm the weird one now. I don't know. I'm just really enjoying it.
Well, I'm glad you're well. Enjoy the breakfast. Feel free to eat on camera and make some people's dreams come true. Thanks for
That's
being
for
here.
Patreons only.
Okay.
I am a very smart, pragmatic businessman.
Yeah.
You want to keep them thirsty. You don't
Monetize
give
it all,
everything.
bro. Monetize
Yeah,
it all.
monetize everything.
That's right.
Love it. Well, I am so happy to have everyone here because I agree. The patch is incredible. The game feels awesome. And I'm loving it. I'm re-addicted. Not that I haven't been. I've been playing, this entire time the game's been out. But I am reinvigorated as well. I feel like the game's in a great spot. When did the patch hit? Like 2 weeks ago at this point now? 10 days? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah. 12 days.
Yeah, so I wanted to have this little roundtable discussion because I felt like it was probably a good idea to let people settle in and mess around with new shit, see how the game actually feels, level up a little bit because leveling has slowed down significantly, obviously, even though there's like level 80 rogues and shit already. But yeah, leveling slowed down. Everything has slowed down a bit beyond, range meta and utility throwing items. But beyond that, game is feeling awesome. OnePeg, I've been watching you own fools as a demon warlock. How is the lock feeling? I feel like the lock is in a great spot, but you're actually maining it. So, what's your perspective on the patch in Warlock?
Warlock's fun. Warlock's fun. The Shadow Touch perk kind of like changed everything.
Yeah, it's quite good, right?
It kind of changed everything. The Chris dagger goes a little too hard. I don't know why they kind of like they buffed daggers across the board, and it's like Warlock didn't really need more than what they already got.
Yeah.
Bloodstained Blade, and Demon Form. You can pretty much tow up to any fighter or barb and last for 5 or 6 seconds just trading hits until one of you falls. Like, you don't die right away in most cases with stuff like that. Especially if you're a plate lock and you have any amount of run speed, if you can get around like 300 run speed in plate, like you need a lot of run speed plate, but if you can get it, you can hold your own against any of the like the main melee like fighting classes. It's actually wizards that are the problem. You need run speed to like run them down. Usually wizards end up shitting on you in like 3 zaps. You're fucked. So in with the way that the game is set up now, balance wise, it's kind of like you either go into physical damage reduction or you're going into magic damage reduction. You don't typically get like a good amount of both, which I'm actually okay with because it leaves like there's no all encompassing build that like protects you against everything. Like you kind of have to go one direction or the other for the most part.
Unless you're a barb.
Yeah, it's been good.
Barb's
Unless,
can,
yeah, unless you're a barb.
unless you're a barb.
Yeah.
I've fallen in love with Barbarian again. I was going longsword bro for a long time, but I'm back to round shield, Viking sword, and Zweihander Barbarian, and I've been having a blast. But you mentioned wizard. I went into a goblin caves today, and this wizard was just using slow and ice bolt with ice mastery, and he threw in one zap just for fun. But he would slow me and then root me in place and then slow me and then root me in place. And I had ran out of French Axis, so there was nothing I could do. And I couldn't even get close to him. I got absolutely schooled and destroyed. All you need is one slow. And then if you miss the ice bolt after hitting the slow, then you just suck. But that guy didn't suck. And I was completely screwed. And instead of exiting the lobby, I exited game. I needed to step away from my computer. But it was a great experience.
You made him close the game
I
over.
closed.
Hell yeah. Hell
When I'm that heavily
what I'm
slowed and
saying.
rooted, I was like, time to get up. Time to
Hell
get
yeah.
up and walk away.
Let's
yeah.
go. He's mad.
Oh, he got me. Oh yeah, dude. I was pretty pissed, but it's all right. Spuddy, what have you been maining? And you just obviously said that you're loving the game. What is your experience the last couple weeks? How you feeling?
Well, I went Ranger, Rogue, Wizard, and then I stuck with Wizard. So I leveled up the other two to like level 5 or 6 each. And I was getting frustrated because I was playing Goblin Caves. And I felt, at least when the first week before they did the hotfix to, well, not even hotfix, they just changed it on the back end. They changed Goblin Caves from 7 players to 5. But I don't know about other servers, but OCE, HR, solo caves, I keep making a meme in my YouTube videos, but like Omaha Beach landing scene clips, like just fucking artillery going off everywhere and shit. It was just a battle royale. And like, it felt like, this is not me complaining. It just felt like playing that map in particular felt like a playground for like, in this order, Warlock, Cleric, Barbarian, Fighter, and then throw in the Bard underneath that with when they've fully used up all their tunes. They've played AC/DC. And like everyone else, then they're like NPCs in their game on that map, at least in HR, until you level up. Because I was really struggling to like just feel like I could not just get third partied immediately and just lose everything. So then I started playing Wizard on the duo map, solo and with some friends. So I started playing duos. So I've got rid of the solo shtick and I just play duos. Yeah, I know, right?
How dare you, dude?
I'm a
He
friend.
has teammates now. Oh my.
What's your
Just as
buddy's
bad
name
as the
again?
Chinese dude.
What's your buddy's
Yeah, I
name
did
again?
a collab with Amaranth and Shroud and Dr. Disrespect. You know, just trying to introduce them to Dark and Darker. And yeah, no, I started playing with some buds. And yeah, no, so the duo map, the more and more I think about it, with the changes they've made to the game feels the best in that map. Now, I'm not a trio nerd, like I don't always play the crypts these days. But from my experience with that map and the game overall, I just feel like the game really gels, even with like metas and stuff. You know how people always constantly complain about buff balls and all that kind of shit in trios? You don't really experience it that bad in duos. Like you get one person buffing a fighter or something, but it's not like they're juiced out of their mind because you don't have two buffs coming out of their left and right. And it just feels really good. And then if you really think about it, they've had a year and a half or nearly 2 years, whatever it's been, of player data and playtesting to then design that map. Whereas they designed crypts and goblin caves without all their experience and information at hand. So it just makes sense that the map's just playing so goddamn good. And it's more interesting. They could probably work on the gold room a little bit. It's now that people are working out the they're working out the map a lot better with the current metas. Rogues just go in and out like the SAS, no witnesses, and the gold pile's gone. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, that's a part of their character, right? But everyone who's been playing the map knows, like, you could rush there. You could literally spawn and not even kill PV, rush there, and somehow the fucking gold's gone. It's insane how quick people have gotten now. It's literally Ocean's 11. So if you see a whole lobby full of rogues, it's literally they're all got like the perfect like invis strats or kiting strats to bait out the Wendigo and the shield boss. And they'll just go out, they'll lead him out the door, close the door on him, and then they just loot. That's not me complaining. I'm just saying that's how it's playing out. So maybe they could put in some Nightmare Death Skulls to help complicate that, just that bit, because everyone else runs there. They have to go through the ordeal. Other than Wizard doing invis, they have to go through the ordeal of like getting there and killing shit. And rogues just seem to run through the map, loot it, and then leave. Now that's fine. I mean, if they design that class like that and that's the intention, that's cool. But maybe just make it a little bit harder for them. I don't know. But other than that, I've been loving the duo map. So yeah, Goblin
Hell yeah.
Caves. I don't know. I think it's just a misrepresentation of the game because you get all these new players that come to the game, they play that map and they get slaughtered like a goat. And there's too many RNG elements to it where it's like it's super duper like choke pointy. There's only a couple big rooms and it's like the middle room. That's why everyone rushes towards it to begin with. And you're rushing towards the middle to get exits because the zone's choking you out and you might be unlucky to not get an exit. You could survive, you could rat, but you still didn't get out. So it's just, it needs a redesign because I feel like it's a misrepresent. You got like the duo map, which is pretty awesome. And then you got the crypt map, which is all about bossing and all this shit. And then you get the Goblin Caves and it's literally like Fortnite Warzone. Again, if that's what people want, that's fine. But if you want a solo experience of the game you've designed, you've got to design it like the actual game you've designed. So I feel like, that's the floor is yours, Senators. That's my closing comment. I just feel like Goblin Caves is the only weak point of the game right now where it just misrepresents what the game is all about.
Solid.
So to the point, I don't want to play it anymore. I hate it.
Solid points. Goblin Cave sucks. I'm with you. I'm
come
not enjoying it either. I think Ice Caverns is top notch. I actually like it slightly more than the Crypts. But I also think Crypts is in a good spot, especially Norms. Trio Norms on Crypts is so much fun, and you don't really feel that steamroll buff ball bullshit like you do in HR. I'm loving Crypts, but that being said, I think the best aspect of the game for me as well is Caverns. Mr. J Griffia, because Donnie just muted. What have you been playing? How do you feel about the patch 2 weeks in? Give us the lowdown.
I was just to say, I think Spuddy like made me realize what I didn't like because I didn't really like the Goblin Caves. But when he said that the other day, it did kind of click because there's like almost no like purpose to Goblin Caves to me. Like Ice Caves is similar, but it's kind of like I can write it off because it's in progress and I know there will be a boss or whatever later. But yeah, Goblin Caves, like if you don't kill a boss, like what do you do? You don't get any fucking loot, and you just get steamrolled by like some super juice like Barbarian.
And then when you do it in HR Crypts, most people have died by the time they get to the Hell Inferno boss room. So sometimes you feel like you could almost do it. So at least where I'm from anyway. But most of the time you feel like you can so like your squad can do it and you won't get third party. Or if you do, it's just one squad and they push it while it's happening and it's a clusterfuck. Whereas the troll boss, you're doing it and there's like 2 rogues on either door, just invis or something like that. Like the people camping those doors, those exits. So it feels like you're doing all the work for someone else doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's 8 doors in the Crypts boss.
The moment the gong goes off, you hear because you got dudes just coming in.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem too with it, not being any loot, I feel like people would exploit the fuck out of it if you got really good loot as a solo boss on Goblin Caves.
Of course.
So, I mean, I don't really know how you balance that.
They did.
Yeah. That was definitely the case.
But I'm talking just like, so like, here's like my thing I ran into is, personally for me, I love to do like a 0 to hero on Crypts. It's like, I know that I may not get a full kit, but I damn well will get pretty close and literally like one run, right? So if you were to do, 3 hell runs by yourself trying to farm gear, like you're going to come out pretty good, right? Goblin Caves, I feel like I'm playing 10 rounds to acquire like a decent blue kit. And I'm like, I don't get where you guys get the stuff. And then people are like, you buy it. And I'm like, okay. So you farm this 10 times and then just buy the gear? It's like, I'd rather just play the game. The whole point is you go find loot. And that's just, I don't know. There's always like a weird disconnect when I go play caves. But maybe I'm a hater.
All your cash anyway.
I think if they made like, how we've talked about like repopulating lobbies, right? I feel like that'd be a really good idea for like the solo experience to start out with. If you're doing like multiple levels for the solo experience.
What do you mean?
Make it like way more. Yeah. Well, because I mean, here's the thing, right? If you do like a Crypts type setup for Goblin Caves in your solo, people are gonna exploit the fuck out of that and get so looted so quick because you can just run it by yourself.
Yeah.
But if you repopulate the lobbies and make it really hard to get out of each level because there's so much PvP on each level, I balance it out a little bit.
Sure. Donnie, what have you been playing and maining? And how are you feeling about the patch?
Yeah, I've been playing Warlock. I got bodied for the first day because I had no idea how Warlock worked. I was trying it out. But that Chris dagger is fucking disgusting. or just just mobbing some dude with Bloodstained Blade and Chris Dagger,
Yeah.
just stabbing the fuck out of him with a little twist with a double hit. That's been good. But I also kept getting bodied by Slayer fighters. So before the podcast, I started up a new character. Dude, fighter on normals? Honestly, kind of gross.
They're
Like not.
assholes.
Slayer
I've
fighter
always been-
normals.
Slayer
Yeah.
fighter on normals
Yeah.
is fucking an asshole.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
like
the problem
cheating, bro.
is you can get so much gear now with like the Squire guy as your base gear. Like you can get a fucking full on pretty dirty kit for normals to just go mess somebody up with.
Yeah.
And everyone else is just not as equipped. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun.
Yeah.
I just shit on people.
Who I can't remember who I was watching, but they were like really mad at the Squire. They're like, "Oh, great! Last time we had just a bunch of naked people running at us like zombies. Now they're fully kitted." And I'm like, you know what? It might be a good point. Just get it all free.
Yeah.
It was a weird one.
I think they just
Here's-
got to do like they got to limit how much like shit you can get from the Squire or something. Because right now you can just come in pretty freaking juiced for a normal run as a fighter.
Sorry, just updating the title here. It looks like Katie will be joining us in a minute, which is awesome.
nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
I could
I
be.
think that's what they wanted with the Squire, and like I'm kind of a fan, but
I love the
Yeah.
I
square.
don't know. I don't
It's
know if
only,
that
it's
so
only
matters,
white.
to be honest.
We're talking about normals, right? They can only
Yeah.
bring in white gear from the Squire,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Hey, Katie.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I just thought I'd misheard it. That's all.
It's just that
Yeah.
the Squire makes the base kit more valuable as you level up the vendors, right? So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
get
Yeah.
base white quality gear for free off of them
Right.
once you get through rep high enough. So
Yeah, and you
pretty
can
good.
have like
How's it
a.
going?
Hi, Katie.
Oh,
Hello,
hey,
Katie.
good morning.
Hi.
The problem is you
Welcome.
can have like a red, a blue, a protection pot, and a bandage like all on a fighter in one way, and it's like, dude, what are you gonna do if you're somebody else?
I mean, everybody gets it though. So
yeah. I don't know.
In normals, demon form would reliably beat most of the Slayer fighters that I came across, but that was
Really?
the only thing that
Okay.
I could get reliably pulling off. But that's only if like Bloodstained Blade got in, hit E, the dude tried to like face tank it. If he ran away and like threw Francesca's at me or something, I just fucking died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Katie, real
Getting
quick,
kited
can
sucks.
you turn yourself up just a little bit? I have you at 200% in Discord, and you're pretty quiet.
Yeah. Hello. How's that?
Hi.
That is
Better?
better. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Hey, you sound good. You sound
Cool. Katie, welcome. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
We were
Hi,
just
good to be here.
discussing. Excellent. Yeah, we were just discussing how the patch is feeling good, and we're just going around the room talking about what everyone is maining and how everyone's feeling a couple weeks in to the wipe. And now that you're here, I will extend that question to you.
I think it's good. I think it's a good patch overall. The meta's a little stale for me. You know, I'm kind of sick of seeing Slayer fighters and solos, man. They're everywhere. It's
Yeah.
a fucking plague.
Yeah.
I hope multi-classing spices it up. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's a pretty good patch. I've been playing, I've actually been playing a little bit of Rogue, a little bit. I've been stabbing people and mining a lot of copper. Okay, the Tangerine Dream is real.
Tangerine Dream. I like that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. How is Rogue feeling overall? Because I know at first, once the wipe hit, Rogue was getting dragged and sort of shit on. And now I'm seeing more people starting to actually gravitate back toward the class. I'm seeing a lot more in the lobbies. Give us your your take on it.
I'm not a rogue main or anything.
Sure.
But I mean, I grab green 5% damage clothing pieces and a knife and I kill people. Creep is really strong. I find
Yeah.
myself just walking right up on people and just got 3 stabs, they're dead. Most people, majority, honestly, just 3 stabs. That's it. I had blue throwing knives hitting for like 140 to the back of the head if you just
Oh,
toss
nice.
it.
What?
Yeah, they
okay.
yeah, they proc on everything. So I was like, well, how do I kill these warlocks? Like the warlocks are killing me. Like reflection's killing me. So I'm like, okay. I try out the blue throwing knives. It's the same damage as a purple Castilian. It procs backstab. It procs the dagger perk, right? And
Yeah.
Wow.
ambush at the same time. So it's the same as a Castilian. It does like 130. So I was going around one popping people with that. That was fun. With rupture, it was really good.
Wow.
Yeah, actually crazy.
That
Class
doesn't seem
sucks.
broken. That doesn't
So
seem
I've
broken.
heard.
That seems fair. Yeah.
I've been having a great time, and I just mine copper. Yeah, every 10 ore I can buy a set.
I think probably for like trios and doing the traditional like clusterfuck, 2 squads go rabble, like old school like warfare. But like in duos, I've noticed a bunch of duo and support rogues, one out of a duo, rolling the hand crossbow and just using silence, like you can't cast for 4 seconds perk. And there seems to be a lot of people playing Warlock. So I've noticed on my servers, a lot of people running that kit to counter the Warlock for their healing casts, like the curse and all that kind of shit. And obviously vicariously screwing wizards, because I had one fight in the dungeon, in the ice dungeon, where I had 2 rogues simultaneously like reload, and I couldn't cast a fudging thing. Like I just had to run. Like I couldn't do anything. So
Are you having fun?
in the moment, I wanted to, throw my monitor out the window, but like, I don't think the traditional way of playing rogue is there anymore, but there are viable ways of playing it. Not in trios. I don't know. Like if you like, because I've watched a whole bunch of Repose and Jay and Kenobi play. I know how squads kind of like they rotate and fight, and they've worked the different rogue metas. Like in the past, like what would happen is like a dude like Repose would come in with rogue from the side while the other 2 are distracting the squad, shit like that. But with how weak their burst damage is now compared to before, say they do that to a fighter, they can just turn on them and 2-tap them with their best in slot, and then that's it. And then it's back to fighting the other 2. So I don't know if that's viable as much as it used to be, but I don't know. Poison and curse has to be one of the most testicular things I've dealt with against rogue. Like I thought I got annoyed with like ambush, but yeah, like 2 dudes running that's really, because what they do is they keep their distance. I reckon they could even take on their hard counters, say like fighters or whatever with PDR. Like because of their speed, they can keep just the old double jump plus back, shoot plus back. They just got to be really smart and not put themselves in a situation where they're in a melee situation. But does that mean it's the right way to play the class? I don't know. I don't want to piss. I already pissed off the rogue community as it is. I'm just saying there's like niche ways of playing it. You know what I mean?
That's okay. Rogues don't really matter anyway.
Yeah. Hey, I heard Jay say this once. I was watching your stream. Someone was giving you shit in your chat about rogue or something, and you said you smashed a theoretical play, and you went, "Look, you guys have had it. You've had it good for like 19 patches.
Yeah, you had a good run. That's right. Yeah.
Think of Wizard.
Yeah.
Think of some
your
of those
turn
other
anymore.
classes.
Yeah.
Dude, I just had
turn.
I did a therapy session with a wizard not long ago on this bench. Like, they've had it tough, So yeah.
That's hilarious.
But anyway,
It's not like wizards
I just
don't
started
eat
piping
good,
that
but That's
How do you feel about Wizard, Jay? You been playing at all?
Not really. I haven't played them.
Are you just burnt on Wizard or what? Because Wizard's fucking strong right now.
I despise playing Wizard solo. At least in I should maybe do the Ice Caves path. I really should.
Play it on Frost, man. Wizard on Frost is fun. It's good.
I fucking despise playing Wizard in the caves. I will never do it. I've always been that way though.
Yeah, fair enough.
I would play any other class.
It's worse now.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I've run Frost this wipe like 500 times already. I haven't even run one GC run. I can't fucking be bothered.
Yeah, it sucks in there.
I like live in the Frost Cave solo playing duo map.
When they push Epic, they need to have the solo experience sorted, because most players are going to introduce themselves to the game on solo.
That's right.
I was worried that the Epic push was going to happen with solo being what it is now, because I feel like people who come from Battle Royale might like it, but once they understand how the game's meant to be played and what they're trying to do and build up and all that kind of stuff, it'd be like, well, this is a mess. At least HR. Norbles is different. HR is something else. Yeah. Sorry, I'm really anal about that, so I'll just keep piping up about it.
Katie, what's your favorite map at the moment?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I insist.
Katie, what's your favorite map at the moment?
Oh, sorry. I mean, I would say the Goblin Caves, but
Wow.
Recently it's been a little I don't know.
Assy.
Kinda sus.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little ass.
Yeah.
7 players was horrible. 5 is playable, but yeah. You have to kill everyone before you boss. I mean, it's like mandatory.
Right. Okay.
Let me ask this. I know we
Caves.
talked about the Epic thing. Does anyone have a friend that's just like, man, I can't wait till Dark and Darker's on Epic Games, then I'm gonna buy it. Like, I don't have any friend that's waiting. I don't know if it's gonna be a big.
They all still say Steam.
Everybody says Steam.
Yep,
And
exactly.
every time they say it, I call them a baby back bitch.
I'm with you. Who cares if it's on its own launcher? Why wait for
Seriously.
Steam? I don't understand
Put
the
on your
mindset.
big boy socks and download the fucking video game. If you're holding out for Steam, you're just being an asshole.
I don't get it.
Tarkov
Man.
did alright. The thing is, Tarkov did alright
Yeah.
on their own launcher. I don't see why this could be any different. So it's more.
And the
I think
crossover
over
is
time,
insane.
I think over time, it's just they need to just solidify the new player experience in the solo map and do that onboarding thing because they've got no. If you, I was thinking the other day when I was younger, I had like a relative who was like my little brother, right? And he used to play games, and I was like 14, he was 10. I was like 4 years older than him. And I'd get him to try and play games I played, and I was the sweaty nerd type playing Counter-Strike and shit like that. And I just couldn't get him to do it. He had to play like, the equivalent of like Minecraft back then. There's something that's just like, it's got its own pace if you pick the right difficulty. And I'm not saying this game needs to go Minecraft, but it needs some kind of ramping system where it's like, because I got a hot take here. Some people in your chat or whatever are going to be like, what the fuck, bro? But I actually think this game is harder to pick up than Tarkov. Tarkov is a game of knowledge, right? And it's very complex system. It has complex systems, big maps, lots of stuff going on, lots of things to learn, questing and everything. But when it comes to the shooting and the PvP and everything, it's quite easy to pick up in the sense that like you got head eyes, leg meta, body armor will protect you.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
They've done it
right,
before.
so-
It's
like
the same cultural mechanics.
Yeah,
of course.
but it'd be like a more
1,000
complicated, like Call of Duty to some people. Like if you got a COD bro, they'll be like, "Oh, dude, this is like a really like more in depth version of like a shooty bang bang game." Whereas you play this, it's like, what the fuck's knowledge? What's wisdom? What's this do? What's that? Oh, if I get 10 of this, it's going to boost that stat as well and make me go Super Saiyan while doing 10 plus magical damage.
Right.
And then when they're getting one tapped or two tapped by people, they're not understanding what they did right, what I did wrong, blah blah blah. So it's a bit more complicated for the average person to pick up. So right now, I feel like the only thing this game has going for it when it comes to like onboarding is someone has to link someone to Ryan 6 days a week's YouTube channel. That wasn't like an unsanctioned shout out. I was just saying like that's the only channel I can think of that has like, oh, here's a whole list of videos that teach you how to play the game.
Or Augustin,
how
if
the
you want
people
longsword.
The $50 you owe him.
Yeah.
For that.
Also, in Tarkov,
Yeah.
you can be
Yeah.
dog shit at the game, but if you camp in the right area, you can kill a really good player. Can't really do that in Dark and Darker. Sometimes with the rogue, but like if you're dog shit and you're playing fighter, you're not gonna kill a good fighter.
The ghillie suit bush meta.
Yeah.
Not that they have ghillie suits in the game, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, or just a prone key in a nice little, not in the
Sit
open.
in the fucking corner, make it
That's
happen.
all it takes. Yeah.
Spud, I completely agree. I've been talking about this for many, many months. The new player experience has to be tightened up if they don't want a shit. Whenever it comes back out on Steam, if they don't want a bunch of people returning the game and refunding it, it needs to have some semblance of a newbie experience. There needs to be a good experience for that person who's playing for a few hours. I don't know what that is. I mean, I personally was fine just being tossed into the fire like everyone else during the play tests, but I don't think that's
I have
every
one
gamer.
thing to say on that.
Okay.
People say that all the time. I think it's because everybody else is dog shit and people don't realize that. That's how I view it.
No, I agree.
Sure.
It's like now you queue into like us, right? And
Yeah,
before we
honestly-
queued into other people who were drooling alongside of us.
I'm kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum, man. Fuck the new player experience. Trial by fire. Let them learn. If they don't want to learn, the game
I
wasn't for
respect
them,
that.
they can get the fuck out.
I respect that, but I'm just considering the business side of things. I'm considering it as Iron Mace. If they don't want a bunch of refunds and they want to make money.
Talk about insurance.
Not for nothing. Hold on. Tarkov was in the same fucking boat for like 2016 to 2018, and then there was one Twitch drop stream and one Twitch Rivals contest, and that game sold 400,000 copies in like the 2 months that followed.
That's a good point.
Right?
That's true.
And ain't nobody held anybody's hand, and the entire game was learned through YouTube videos. I know because I made half of them.
There's also an offline mode though too. where
Okay,
you
to
can,
be
like, learn
fair
maps.
though,
People were
there's a
also
giant
shit
community.
back then. I
They
would
were all,
just like to
everybody was
say.
shit. Everybody was shit. The only difference between this game and that game is that people picked up this game a whole lot faster, and there was a lot of hardcore dudes that spent 2,000 hours in it, like Jay and me and Spud and everybody fucking else here in this fucking podcast. Everybody spent thousands of hours playing it, and that's the shit that people watch and the stuff that they're picking up on. And the only people that are sticking around for like the long term through these wipe cycles are people that are hardcoring it. So it's not new player friendly just because there aren't a lot of new players left after the first 3 weeks. That's it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get an influx of fresh blood. Yeah, that's great. if they get shit on by people, then yeah, some of them are going to get frustrated. Other ones stick around. It's the same thing with Tarkov. It's just that there were more of them. That's all. And you never saw the player numbers. No one knows the player statistics for Tarkov. It could be the same fucking numbers, and no one would have a clue because they never gave that information to anybody. The only thing that everybody focused on for player numbers because they can see the stats in the home screen.
I totally agree with you when it comes to like you either have the impetus to go learn the game or not. Like if you're gonna go play Tarkov, right? And you go, dude, this isn't Call of Duty. Fuck this. You're never gonna win that person. That person's gonna go like there's nothing you can do about that. But there's some people where they've only played Call of Duty, but they're open to learning. But they don't know. They don't know about 6 days a week, the YouTube channel. They'll go watch me or Jay or whoever the fuck stream maybe for 5 minutes, and they'll still be like, "This is what the fuck's going on?" And then they'll ask a question in a Twitch chat, and then the streamer would go, "Look, I'll give you a quick rundown, but I can't tell you how to play the game because that's like an hour-long YouTube video done live on my Twitch stream." You know, so it's kind of like those people need that. What I call ramp. They need that. They in game dev they call it onboarding. You need to onboard your new players. Single players do it all the time. Why the fuck every single player game you play, there's this either it's done naturally or it's like an artificial tutorial room. Think of games like Doom Eternal, right? Throughout the first 3 chapters, you're slowly picking up. Oh, here's the grenade launcher on my shoulder. That's the ice bomb. Oh, this is how I upgrade the weapons now. Oh, this is da. And it's harder to do that in multiplayer games like this without doing, okay, this is the tutorial corner. I was even thinking that it would take them a couple months to make and it would have to require like a couple of staff. But if they really push it to the public, they have on the map basically, and it could be almost it could serve 2 purposes. It could even borderline be a map where if you're so destitute and you even suck at normals and just PvP and you want some kind of PvE experience. And that's why I'm using my 10-year-old relative as a reference here. Those people that they could play the game, but they really need like baby's day out version of the game. But it's not, you do this and it doesn't affect the actual overall experience for the rest of the game. It really doesn't. So the thought I had was like, you got that big map, you got the 3, duos, solo, trios, whatever. In the top left, call it the MILF Mountains, whatever you want to call it, right? Just in the top left, there's like a little area, right? That's a tutorial mode and it's PvE only, no PvP. And it's like a map that's designed to basically teach you the game with PvE. Each room you'd have like first room, it's like a melee goblin, right? Second room, it's like a 2 archers left and right on like some pillars. And you learn to like, oh, this is how they time their shots. So I can like learn to dodge the arrows. I know this sounds silly, but remember, you gotta treat a new player like they've been run over a couple times, right?
Well, any noob
like
that first loads up the game, they get like insta-killed by the first skeleton. It's like, brother, he's swinging a sword, right? Like if you were to like watch it for 5 seconds, you'd be like, oh, he's just swinging it. But like noobs, they just stand there and they die. They just they don't know what the fuck they're doing. So yeah, I
mean, easy fix, dude. Just do like a horde mode. Just do like mode. Yeah, exactly. Or do like you can load up your 3 buddies and defend the pyramid. And they send
a billion. Mode, you don't get to keep anything.
Sure.
Katie, you were going to jump in as well. You had an opinion as well, Katie. You got stepped on. What were you going to say?
Sorry. No, I mean just regarding insurance. I mean, they talked about that, right? They talked about insurance.
Yeah,
I mean, that could improve new player experience. I think there's a lot of gear that gets left in the dungeon that's like greens and shit that is
for sure
completely and utterly worthless. No one's picking it up. You know, it's just going to the void. And those people, I think it would ease the blow a little bit if tomorrow or the next day they'd be like, okay, well, I might get some of it back. Like I might get my, whatever the fuck chess piece back. That might be a little mental win for them.
Sure.
Economy sink too, right? So I mean, I think insurance is a good idea.
Yeah, whenever I say like improve the new player experience, like look, there's nothing more fun than jumping into like Dark Souls or Dark Souls 3 or something like that and just trying to figure it out and just getting your ass kicked, and that's the game, right? I'm just going to die a lot. Dark and Darker was the same thing for me. It was so much fun to just jump in there, get my ass kicked and learn. But not everyone is like us in this podcast. And to Spuddy's point, and while thinking from a business standpoint and an Iron Mace standpoint, it just might be a good idea to consider the new player onboarding experience a little bit so that you don't get hit with refunds, so that you do retain some players more. You're going to lose players always. The graph is always going to go up and down. But I think it would be helpful just initially. But I don't think it's the most important thing in the world. I don't think it's a do or die thing that's going to ruin the game. I definitely think it would help, though. And I used to not even be in this camp. Yeah, I used to not even be in this camp. I used to be very, very against it. But now I'm seeing that Iron Mace and Dark and Darker really has a chance of success, and it could really blow up into a huge game, especially because it's doing so well before it's back on the biggest platform for game sales, which is Steam. So I don't know. It's just something they should consider or not. Maybe they think it's a fucking terrible idea. Who knows? But it's just something that I've thought about a little bit more
I
recently.
don't think like a tutorial has like any negatives, right? So
Yeah, it doesn't.
Sure.
And one of the things with multiplayer games. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
I was just gonna say in offline mode it's fine.
Oh.
I'm completely like Tarkov has offline mode. Like
Exactly.
guys that spend 100 hours in offline mode just learning how to like run around maps and find landmarks and shoot at mobs or whatever. Like I'm totally fine with that. I just don't think that if you're gonna be doing like practice mode shit, you should be retaining any of the stuff that you find. Because like
yeah, I agree with that
like,
too. Yeah,
like even if it's worth 1 gold, you fill your inventory full of items that are worth 1 gold. Like people will just do that until they are
that's a
falling
given.
overtired.
With you on that. Yeah. I'm with you on that.
But here's the thing with a lot of multiplayer games is you gotta have news and you gotta have a way for people who are bad at the game to have fun. Like that's kind of like
Yes.
Yeah, you need people to pickpocket. You need people. You need the Mosin in Tarkov that you can go shoot somebody with and get a crazy gear, like crazy kit. You need somebody if they're bad at the game, they can go have fun. And I think that's one of the things that maybe
that was Ambush Rogue.
Yeah, but see, then you have Repose who just takes that to the fucking next level.
And then another level, and then another level. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I was talking earlier about norms and how much I'm loving norms, and it's pretty much all I've been playing. I think going in essentially with a white kit and having to earn your way out, and having that PvP experience where you potentially won't get steamrolled by someone that has 20,000 more stats than you is just more fun. Not that HR isn't fun. It's fun to go artifact hunting. It's fun to boss. I get it. How do you guys, who are, most of this call is way better at the game than me, to the HR folks, to the HR trio folks that are farming bosses and slaughtering people in gold kits, how does HR feel to you guys? How does PvP and HR feel? Do you think it's in a good spot? Do you think the gear gap is too large, which is something I mentioned last week? What sort of changes would you guys make? Let's start with Jay, and then go to OnePeg, Spuddy, and Katie.
I haven't played much HR trios at all.
Fair enough.
I have no clue.
Fair enough. Okay.
Well, that was quick.
Good answer.
Quick opinion.
All right.
I can say I love pickpocketing trios.
Well, it's fun to watch, so keep it going.
Yeah.
That's like that's about all I can say.
Fair enough.
First night I ran with Sobad and N-Boss, and we killed 6 or 7 bosses. Got Warlord once, Lich twice, 3 times, Ghost King. No, we got Warlord twice, Lich King 3 times, GK 3 times, something like that. We got 5 legendaries and like farmed a bunch of shit. Bard was disgusting. SBS's Bard had like 60% PDR, and he 3-tapped to 60% PDR Cleric, which was absurd. Absurd. And then eventually everybody dies. Like we got jumped by a Noogie, and then we lost to Rush Frog. But just kept, like, the gear comes so fast now, like you can just farm the shit. But yeah, other than doing trios, I've just been soloing the duo map like over and over and over again. I want to put together a trios team actually to go do some boss farming, because I have a luck set that if I get the big luck pot roll, I have 356 luck on my Warlock.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's almost maxed out rolls on all the gear pieces, and he actually has like good stats. Like some of it's like 2 all and like 40 luck and shit. So
nice.
Reminds me of Magic Find sets in D2 back in the day.
Yeah, it feels like an MF Sork from D2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but I want to see what it looks like hitting treasure piles and like hitting bosses and stuff, and see if it actually matters. Because on the AP side, it doesn't do shit. Trying to do like solo runs like what I would normally do. Like definitely way more blues and purples coming out of boxes, but it doesn't generate enough for it to like be warranted running it. So I'm curious to see what it looks like on like boss and like treasure pile loot though.
Right.
But yeah, the team fights have been really fun, man. I think that there's a lot of checks and a lot of like rock paper scissors kind of stuff for every comp that exists now. because they've given mechanics to like certain classes to disable others. Like buff ball stuff, like Bard decides that they're going to play a bunch of songs and the barb on their team comes rushing through the door. It's like, all right, well, I'll just give you spell predation hit, and then now you have nothing. You know, or like you want to see a Bard like just cry to themselves, and you just yoink all of their buffs off of them, and it's hilarious. Like I love it. But like those checks didn't exist like, you know, last season at the start. Like you didn't have that kind of stuff. So the dominant like comps don't really feel like they're dominant anymore because there's a way to like work around them now. So, which I kind of like. Yeah,
All right.
that would be kind of what I think.
Beautiful. Mr. Hunter.
Doctor,
sorry.
haven't
My bad.
been playing Dr. Hunter. I haven't been playing trios. Right? I've watched people play trios on Twitch. Like just every now and then I'll tune in for 10, 15 minutes and just suss out like, oh, you know, people enjoying that, they're vibing, blah, blah, blah. I've just exclusively played duo map as a solo and as a duo. Played the first 2 days of Goblin Caves and decided that it was either I change the map or I change games. That's how much I despised it. So yeah, I haven't got a lot to say about the trio experience because I'm coming from just playing the duo experience, and I don't know, man. Like right now, the game really works well for the duo queue. I don't know, just it's the map design, the PvE in it, the spacing. Like, yeah, I have to go off topic rather than go on a tangent because I can't really answer your question. Yeah,
sure.
So, I'd just say from my experience, well, I can answer about the gear stuff, I guess, because it still transfers to duo. Like OnePeg said, I like how quick it is. You can get some mid to high gear, not the best in slot of all time, just stuff that's serviceable. You know, let's say you get killed in some BS interaction, you're like, oh fuck, you know, fudge this, can't believe it, blah blah blah, and you have that feeling of, oh, now I got to get all that back and grind. As long as you got like a little pool of money, you can kind of go on the marketplace is great for like, oh, I'll just get say I'm a wizard and I just need a bit of knowledge, quick, get a cheap $100 ring here, $100 ring there, $300 Oracle robe that's got +1 all attributes, and you know your 3 standard knowledge. You know, some green items, and now you're back in for a chance to fight all those guys in HR. Whereas before, it would take a lot of dicking around on trading to get that gear. You know,
Yeah,
and you'd feel like, God damn it, like now this is an ordeal again. Whereas now I feel like you can easily get in that loop of I'll just keep playing. Like, all right, big deal. I died, big deal. But it doesn't take away. It's not like this is just some BS BR battle royale where it's like, oh, nothing matters. Like there's still stakes to the gear. Like you've lost the best combos. Like that purple ring with 3 knowledge, 2 all attributes, 5 movement speed. You know, you will have to really search and grind to get those awesome items, but you can still get like the best buy versions of them, the budget ones or whatever. You know what I mean? So I like that because it doesn't immediately feel like, okay, now the next 2 hours of the game's going to be hell for me and I'm just going to get turbo stomped by all the nerds. I don't know how that's going to play out with all the gold gear and all the crafting and shit. Like a lot of the game's kind of locked away right now.
Right.
So we could all look like idiots in 2-3 weeks time where we're like, the game's amazing. It's brilliant. Oh my God, having a great time. And then in 2 weeks, they unlock the friggin', what do you call it? The multi-classing, the crafting, and all of a sudden everyone's just one tap city. You know what I mean?
That's right. You're
That's
right.
the thing I'm worried about.
sucks. What are they doing?
Yeah.
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 It's funny how, it's funny,
Yeah.
it's funny how streamers will just flip flop like that, isn't it?
It is pretty interesting. Yeah.
You know?
That's fucked up, dude. Have some integrity, you streamer people, dude. Come on.
Dude,
Yeah.
For real.
Katie, what do you think about the HR experience, trios, HR, PvP, gear gap?
I haven't done a ton of HR stuff. I mean, it's okay, you know. Mostly I've done trios and like normals for questing, you know, and that's been a good time. Just getting mats and stuff. It's been pretty chill, and I feel like there's a good fighting chance versus everyone. You know, I don't know, it's good.
Yeah.
It's
I think they
interesting.
really nailed something with the Squire, you know, and normals.
Yes,
really good.
I totally agree. It's interesting how everyone in here is not really experiencing sweaty HR trios PvP. I think that's telling in a way. That's interesting because I still see.
I could play with like my like normie friends that play the game and that are not like sweating super hard But I think Jay mentioned this too at some point. But essentially, like eventually, you're just gonna run into like the team, and like they're gonna kill you. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can. I mean, you could try your
Yeah.
hardest, but like they're
Yeah.
going to kill you.
That's right.
It's just gonna happen. And
It's just
yeah, I mean, it's just brutal, right? Like, there's
Unless
no
you are the
chance.
team. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's
Unless
yeah,
you're the team.
exactly. Yeah,
But to play with anyone
Yeah.
normal and like try to casually play HR is just impossible.
right.
Agreed.
Agree.
So that leads me to Arena, which obviously is important to Iron Mace. It doesn't really matter what we think. If they think it's a good idea and it's on their roadmap, they're going to push it out, right? Do you think that sweats?
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
I'm so sorry.
Go do it, please.
They already released
Doctor.
it. What are you guys on
That's
about?
true. That's right. It is already released,
Yeah.
guys. It's actually the beta test already out. It's Goblin
Yeah.
Caves.
Yeah.
GC, yeah.
Hey,
Goblin
get
Cave.
The
equip
GC
wizard,
arena.
fireball one door. You're there. You're already fighting.
I'm sorry to interrupt. That was cheap and easy. But yeah, it does feel like it's already out. Like they got data right there. It fucking is Arena. Like I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I never thought that was dark and darker when I played the start of this wipe. It just felt like
Has it ever been
like a
that
solo
bad? I don't
arena.
think Goblin Caves has ever been that bad. Even like back like on the first iteration of the HR 3v3, like or 3x3, you know, like it wasn't that bad then.
Yeah, sorry, Soma. Go ahead.
No,
Sorry, dude.
no, don't apologize,
cheap and
please.
easy.
If anyone wants to jump
I
in,
did-
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a crazy idea. Like, you know what would be kind of fun? You guys remember Battlegrounds? Or not Battlegrounds. What's it called in WoW? Where you do the BGs? Is it
Right.
Battlegrounds?
BG's Battlegrounds.
Battlegrounds.
Yeah, Battlegrounds. That would be kind of a fun game mode in Dark and Darker. Like where you die and you respawn, like graveyard type shit.
Hey, I
don't know.
said Dark and Darker Capture the Flag would be sick a long time ago.
That would be a good time.
I'd be all
that would be
about
fun.
that. That'd be fun.
Like not one life.
I think it'd be cool.
Little seasonal thing.
I hope that isn't an announced feature next month, but yeah, I still think it'd be pretty
Yeah.
fun one day. It sounds cool. But yeah, so
I think events would be super important for the game. Just to
yes.
spice it up, you know. And
Yeah.
that's a must.
Dude, a loot goblin running around the fucking dungeon that you got to kill.
Yeah,
and he's got
shit
like
like that.
purples on him. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, agreed. But yeah, Arena, I mean, it is coming. It is a thing they've talked about. Grayson in Discord said that no one has really guessed how it's going to operate yet. I see a
Did
lot
I just
of...
guess it? I just guessed it right now, dude.
I think you nailed it. It's Capture the Flag, actually. Yeah. It's just all
It's
Track
actually
Valley.
Griffball.
Yeah, it's Hut Ball from Star Wars: The Old Republic. Yeah,
There you go. There you go.
Lich
Autos in the
Ball. Yeah. But Arena is coming. Grayson said that no one has really guessed it yet. How it will operate or what it will play like. But I've seen a lot of opinions on Reddit that maybe it will help the regular HR experience in trios, duos, solos, whatever, where people will actually be able to go boss because the sweats will be busy in the arena killing each other. Do you guys agree with that at all? Like, this is just stuff I've been reading about. It's an interesting discussion point, so I figured I just wanted to bring it up and get your opinions. What do you guys think?
No way.
Yeah, it's a training mode. I mean, that's what's going to happen. People are going to train in the arena, and eventually, you know, it's going to get to the point where, you know, somebody new joins the game and they're like, "Oh my God, how do I compete with this?" And someone's going to go, "Well, you put your mandatory 500 hours into arena, right? I mean, I run it every morning, my 2-hour warm up. You know, it's going to get bad. I mean, it's going to be just like Rust with like UKN servers, how people practice their recoil and shit. People are going to be practicing their matchups and their comps and their game knowledge. You know, using the same gear, risking nothing and learning everything. I think it's going to exacerbate the issue, but maybe it'll let people catch up. I don't know. I think you're going to have a mandatory arena time, learning time, and yeah. It'll raise the skill ceiling is what I'm saying.
I think it might, because like I don't know. I feel like at some point when you're like super geared and you've been hunting players down for 6 hours straight, you're like, you start to question like, what the fuck am I doing for a second? So it might just give you a little outlet or something. I don't know.
I mean,
Because it does feel.
Okay.
Maybe that's me, but it feels so grimy, just like running poor Timothy down. You know what I mean? But
Hey guys, you know those,
that's a
you know
me
those
thing.
sessions when you
I
just
don't know.
spend 6 hours killing everyone? We all have those, right? In our
Totally.
ultra sweaty threes comp. Yeah. The
Definitely,
entire night of
definitely.
just
Yeah.
killing everybody. Yeah,
I'm really
can't take
bored
it
of that
all. It gets from
experience.
everyone. Yeah, all happens all the time.
Game yields
Yeah, it
results.
happens all. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got 3 cinders yesterday. That's crazy.
Well, thanks for the
I'm
beer,
not.
I
I'm not
guess.
religious, but like it. I wonder if God, if he existed, he'd be like, "Oh man, I'm so bored of being so powerful." You know, just.
I
creating
don't
light.
even do that anymore.
You would. Well, I don't know. You might get bored.
Jay decides to leave the castle and go slum it with the commoners for a little while.
Oh, that's funny.
No, I understand. You'd like some kind of mode where it's like this is gonna it's gonna push you to the limit. You kill in, and you're gonna actually you're pressured.
Well, yeah, it's like
Because I found that with a lot of games I play. Yeah.
For a long period, for like a good month or two of this game, this was just like last wipe. It was like, man, I'm playing this game for 5 minutes every 40 minutes. Like 5 minutes I'm PvPing, and then for the next 35 I'm looting chests, bro. If it was me in a perfect world, I'd cut out the 35 minutes, I think, and that just might be like a good.
But then you I got hot takes about this. Sorry, go you first, Katie, because I'll ramble for ages.
I think they could fill the levels. You know, that would really alleviate the problem. But when they mentioned that, like the community really freaked out about it. I think it scared them. So then, we haven't heard anything about it since. But I think they really got to like fill every level with more people from other games.
Mm-hmm.
That would help.
Make the game a lot harder.
See, Jay, I'm only guessing this from what you're saying and what I've seen you play at the game. It's like, but the problem is, are you talking from your experience of the trio map? Because things got a bit more sparse over the patches, where it was like they just put in a couple of squads and then they had the MMR and the rankings and everything. All of a sudden, people are getting split up more. So you're just versing the same dudes. I don't think we'll ever experience what we had with the playtest, where it's just the game is saturated with so many players and they just open the floodgates for everyone. And it's just because back in the day, it was more of a battle royale, right? Where it was just shit is just happening. And we're all enjoying it because we didn't know what was going on, right? But now there's metas, there's this, there's that. Anyway, they want like an identity with the game, and they gotta kind of stick with it. And it's either a PvP game where fudge all the looting, there's no point having it, right? It's just superfluous to what you want, which is like some sweaty fights. I like the sweaty fights too, but it's like they either stick with that or they just make a new game called Dark and Darker Arena, like Tarkov did.
True.
And then it flops because the mechanics of the game doesn't. Well, hold on. You pulled a face, OnePeg, but who the fuck's playing Arena on Tarkov right now? No one.
Yeah, exactly. OnePeg was the last time you booted it up.
No, Arena's fucked. I'm agreeing with him. Yeah, no, Arena's fucked.
I heard they were wiping it.
And that's the problem.
Also, hot take. Oh, let me just say this real quick. Separate fucking client. Yeah. Separate client for Arena sucks so fucking bad. Like I have to boot down Tarkov to boot up Tarkov Arena. It's like, ugh.
It is a third of what they said they were going to be providing, and with the same shitty netcode and the same fucked mechanics that have been plaguing that game all along. This is all Spud's fault.
Yeah.
Like the entire premise of Arena was that your PMC was supposed to be able to go into Arena. You could use loadouts from your PMC to join it. Everybody would be lootable. Like there was all of this other shit. And it turned out to be like some really watered down, like R6 Siege-esque, like try to capture the point bullshit with this really crappy RNG mechanic where like mobs suddenly spawn and they decided like one of them chooses to attack one guy and that's how you choose the round. Like it's that the arena's fucked. It has been fucked ever since it was implemented. It's really cool for like 3 hours. And then after that, you're just like, why am I bothered?
See, why I play Tarkov, right? Me personally, is I'm playing Tarkov to play that experience. If I go into a sandboxy kind of map where there's quests, there's PvE, there's things to do, and I may fight a person or two. And because of the RNG elements of an open map like that, and it's not symmetrical, I might come out on top. Especially if I like extract camp, like General Sam or some shit like that. That's not me shit talking like that. He invented the rap meta, right? So like, essentially, right? They went from that to now making a symmetrical arena shooter. You know, like because right now everything like in the multiplayer market, everything's PRs, everything's RPGs and shit like that. There's like. I come from the Arena FPS days of like Quake, Unreal Tournament, all that shit, right? That shit's gone. And even Halo's gone, right? In the big picture, right? And making an arena mode is akin to those genres. It is because you're trying to make a 3v3 or a 5v5 asymmetrical experience, right? So Tarkov went from that to now doing the old school thing. And the market that they had was for a completely different experience. As much as people think they wanted. Sometimes the consumer's not always right. They don't actually know what they want because
most of the time
about this shit. Yeah. So like the amount of positivity I saw about like Arena, and then no one fucking played it. And I feel the same way about I'm worried about IMA investing time and resources into this because I feel like it's going to be another Tarkov arena. And just let me finish because there's already things that offer like there's things on the market that already offer a PvP 3v3 5v5 mode that's like a melee archer based experience. Mordau, Chivalry 2. They're relatively symmetrical, and there's arena modes in it where it's like, okay, you get 5 of your best friends, you got 5 of your best friends, have at it. And it's even faster and more mechanical and more skilled, where you've got better blocking mechanics, this, that, and the other. Like a lot of the like Dark and Darker is fun. It is fun, but I don't ever see it as a competitive game, especially with the gear diffing and all that kind of shit.
Dark and Darker Arena is gonna play like Fisher Price Mordhau, dude. It's
yeah.
it's gonna be
So
bad.
I feel
But
like
I think that's an appeal.
I'm gonna piss people off in the community. Yeah, I know, but
honest.
I think it'll get stale to a lot of people really quick. I'm
That's
happy to
okay.
take. I'm happy to be the doomer here. I hope they're not wasting their resources on it when they could be focusing on maybe bettering the solo map, making a better experience, like give it the duo map treatment, or make a better tutorial for new players rather than just making another sweaty mode where new players or average players are going to come in, get fucking rolled. And then the mode is literally twitch.tv, whoever the fucking sweaty streamer is doing that with 4 other dudes. And that's it. And then it's just I just think it's a terrible waste of resources and focus right now. Like most people play a game for 1 or 2 modes. You don't go in a game and play 17 different modes. The only game that ever did that was Fortnite, and that's because it had 1 million players concurrent. Not many games can do that. It's another thing that's going to dilute the player base. Let's say it doesn't go on Steam anytime soon, and it goes on Epic, and only 10% population of the player base increases because who the fuck plays on the Epic launcher unless you're playing Fortnite or whatever, right? So
yeah.
Because I know a couple games like Diabolical, everyone's like, oh, fucking Arena FPS is back, bro. Oh, let's fucking go. It's going on Epic. Free to play on Epic. Free to play. No one fucking rocked up. They didn't even have to buy anything. You just try the game. No one even tried it. So I'm not being a doomer. I just think I'm being realistic where I think Arena is a waste of time and resources. It's going to dilute the player base when it comes out. So then you have maybe 10% of the player base that want to stick with that because they like the PvP in Dark and Dark and that's all they want to do. Kind of, I'm not saying that's you, Jay, but there's probably a little bit of that in you, right? Because you just said it. You're bored of the other part of the experience, and you just want to fucking go at it. That's what Arena will. No, that's what Arena will offer. It'll offer unadulterated, just pure the PvP experience of the game. Because you're not going to be looting and PvEing, are you? It's Arena.
To be fair, Grayson has stated that everyone that has discussed it, everyone that's talked about it, everyone that's posted about it, written about it, they're all wrong. What if we're all wrong about this? What if?
Good.
I'm happy about that.
Darker, then what happens to Dark and Darker? What if we all love Arena and now we just play Dark and Darker Arena and there's all these empty lobbies and servers?
It becomes Fortnite. Becomes Fortnite and Save the World died. That's it.
That's exactly what happened.
Because if it's better, we'll all have decided that it's better, and that becomes the core game, and we'll all love it for that. So either way, it's still fun.
I hope that we're.
We'll have Dr. Disrespect playing. Dude, he'll be tuning in every day doing streams.
I agree that I'm slightly worried about resources and time and money being spent on Arena. But whenever I hear that everyone's wrong about it and that you might be surprised, I get excited about it because there was not a game like Dark and Darker for a long time. It came out, it surprised and delighted enough people that 6 figures worth of people jumped on Steam to play it, all word of mouth, right? So maybe they have other tricks up their sleeves. Maybe the arena is not what we think. Maybe it'll be something really exciting and new, a new take on it. I don't think it's going to be a separate launcher or anything stupid like that. I think Battle State fucked up with Tarkov Arena. I think we all agree with that. But I will just say we might be pleasantly surprised. And I'm in the camp where I'm also worried, Spud. Like, shit, is this the right move? It might be. We just don't know.
I hope, because obviously they listen to your podcast. That I know that from listening to the podcast with them. They say they listen to it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
So if you're
I'm
listening,
so sorry, by the way.
if you're listening, I just hope that you guys integrate it into the game, not just as a separate mode. Like it's symbiotic with the whole gameplay experience. Where it's like maybe rewards out of that influence the other queues as well. So you're, like it's symbiotic. It's all a part of the same thing, and then you need one and the other to support each other, if that makes sense. Because if one's better than the other, then you'll have you will split the community, if that makes sense. You have people who just, well, I'll just play this. So, Yeah.
And if you're still
Anyway.
listening, Iron Mace, dwarf skin, please. It'd be fun.
Hey, hold
Be a
on,
good
Druid.
time.
There's probably coming. They've added like a rat or something, right? Surely they'll work out how to scale down a humanoid.
Why
So,
not,
Like a
dude?
balanced.
You know
so
what
the
I
Druid
love
in
is
Arena will save us all.
so many people talk about multi-class builds and like OP builds and whatnot. It's very fun to talk about. Everyone forgets that we're going to have Druid in the mix pretty soon, and that's going to be a part of the multi-class. Imagine the barbarian that can just turn into a rat and escape or something like that. Like that's going to happen. People
That'd be great.
forget
I want 'em to
people
add-
forget
I want 'em
about
to
that.
Add like
Yeah.
the little like mini tunnels from like Baldur's Gate. So like when you go rat
Oh,
farming,
that'd
you
be
could, like, sneak
sick.
through like little
Oh,
tiny
yeah.
tunnels. It would be fucking amazing.
That'd be
I'm
I
gonna
want a
multi-class.
double jumping rat.
Yeah. That's what I
Double
was
jump
doing.
rat.
double
No, I'm
jumping
doing- I'm
bear.
gonna-
Yeah.
The day Druid comes out, man, everybody in the community, we're all gonna get together. We're all getting together. We're all gonna try and Q snipe each other just for the funsies of it, and like normal map or whatever. Everybody's going Druid. We're all going chicken form. It's gonna be like Thursday night cockfight. It's gonna be a great time.
I see a
Great,
new
great time,
YouTube
dude.
series now.
I've been saying it from
Dad
the beginning.
cockfights.
Thursday
Dad
night
cock.
cockfight, dude.
Dad cockfights. Fuck yeah. Sounds
Yeah.
great.
Everybody gonna be pecking away at each other. It's gonna be good times, man.
All right, so what do you guys think is the one thing that you would like to see changed in the game currently? And I'll be happy to
The
start.
AP system, please God.
Oh yeah, it's broken. I just watched your video about
AP system is
Demigod being
fucked.
impossible.
I've
It's
been talking to SDF for literally hours about it.
So is it
Like-
like confirmed you can't get Demi without getting funneled or something?
You can't. Like if you're a solo player, the only way that you're pulling it off is if somebody's like going in with you, just finding treasure and then bringing it to you. Like, here you go,
Yeah,
master. Like,
funneling.
yeah, it's all
Which has
treasure
happened
funneling.
since playtest one.
Yeah,
to be
like
honest.
and like Repose got it 2 days ago, and I DM'd him and I was like, "What's up?" And he was like, "No, dude, I got hardcore funneled. We're switching, we're taking turns, like we're playing on alts. Like one
Nice.
person gets funneled and then we switch off, and then the
Jesus.
next guy. Like that's the only way to do it. Like you can't do it otherwise. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
The best run I've had so far was 1,345 points, and I found 4 purples and wore them out, and I've been swapping gear like hard the whole time. Like, and just looking at the math, like let's say that on average you get 4 PvP kills and it's 100 AP per. Like that's like, let's say on my best possible run, that's 1,745. It costs 1,300 just to get into the map. So I
crazy.
net 475 points. That's great, but then I have to do that like 10 times in a row in order for that to work and have the perfect, most optimized run ever. I have to do it 10 times in a row and not die.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people are capable of doing, but that's unrealistic. Like usually you might get maybe 100 points ahead or 200 points higher, and then you have to survive 40 times. So then it's like, you know, and even to break even, like you have to
And
survive.
if you die once, that's another 20.
If you die
Yeah.
once, yeah, exactly. If you
God.
die once, it's
Digging a
a
hole.
quarter of a level or a down rank or whatever. And like if you're netting 200 points on the 13, 14, or 1,500 point buy-in, right? Because Crips is 1,500 points for Exemplar 1 to just start the run. That means like if you're netting 200 points, that means you have to live 7 times more than you die on a perfectly optimized HR run, where everybody's treasure feeding you, and that's the only way that you're making it out. Like that's the only way that you pull off Demigod. And once you get Demigod, like you're putting that character away because it's 1,700 points on Crips to go in on threes.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make any fucking sense.
I think
You can't do it solo. It will not work.
I think first of all, for they should just make the rewards based off peak. So yeah, you don't have to retire a character. It's pretty stupid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I believe that. I think that they should be averaging AP across like your teammates. So like if you have one guy that's got 1,000 AP worth of treasure on him, and then the second guy's got 400, then it's a 1,400 point pool, and both of you get 700 apiece. That's how it should work.
Yeah, like that.
Because it completely eliminates any of the pooling that goes on.
Tunneling, too.
And when
Yeah.
I mentioned it to SDF, he's like, I've been wanting to implement that system for a while. We just haven't gotten to it yet. We're trying to get it in for the next hotfix.
Nice.
That's cool.
So
Good to know.
that's what he told me. And he actually wrote, been wanting it like that for a long time. It's a shame to correct it so late. And I was like, better late than never, dude. And he kind of laughed about it.
Yeah.
And then I told him that the cost of entry was way too high. I suggested 800 for Goblin, 900 for Frost Cave, and 1,000 to 1,100 for Crips. I think that that's something that people could overcome by 200, 300, 400 points, maybe on the high end, even on threes. Like you can get 1,500 or 1,600 if you're doing a really, really good threes run, but I don't think that you're doing I don't think you're doing that every run. I really don't. I don't think, especially not if you're an orange rank and you're getting PvP kills, you're killing people that are on average like 2 or 3 ranks below you minimum, and you're getting like 60 points of AP for those kills because of how the formula works. So you're not typically running into a bunch of other orange players, especially not now because there's hardly anybody there. Like no one's that high. Like now that I'm blue plus on 2 separate characters, as soon as I hit blue, like there's fucking no one. It's empty. Everyone's playing sweaty, but they're all in like neophyte and like green and under. Like no one's playing blue plus right now. There's no one.
I got all these friggin' Voyager rat rogues, man. Like they're no PvP. Just around the map, man. I just can't. Like I'll get a full lobby, but I don't see anyone because they're all just like playing Splinter Cell. Like it's insane.
Great game, by the way.
Have they adjusted the way AP gain is though? I haven't really played High Roller much.
Yeah, it's tough. As OnePeg is saying, it's almost impossible to get to demigod at this point with the current implementation.
Yeah, but I mean, have they adjusted like from last season, like how you gained AP? Like, is it mostly treasure focused still?
No, you can gain all of the treasure shit is exactly the fucking same. Like they said that they were going to change that. They didn't change a damn thing. Like we tested the whole thing. It's all the same point values. It's all the same treasure bonuses. Everything's the same. The only thing they changed is they made, instead of like mobs being like worth 2 points or whatever, they're worth 8. The elite mobs, like the mini bosses, they were worth like 8 and 10. Now they're worth like 20 to 35 or 40, depending on what it is that you're killing and whether or not they're nightmare mobs. And the bosses are 100 and 150. It's 150 for the trios bosses, 100 for the solo boss. So, and then they made PvP kills worth like 3 times what they used to be. So there's a lot more AP to be made, but the cost of entry got like tripled. So once you can get up to, like, I can get to Exemplar 3, no problem. Like I know that I can get to Exemplar 3 on my own. After that, it's a dice roll. Like you're just not going to do it.
Sorry, I was listening, but then I realized Jay is just absolutely cooking me in his fucking chat.
Yeah, he's over here being all chuckle nuts and shit.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Nothing.
So they increased like the PvE a little bit, but with the PvP, are you more encouraged to go after it, or sorry, I got one trick.
If you like, it's and treasure chests are way more valuable than they used to be, except for like the really good ones. Like the really good ones used to be 12 and now they're 9, but like the normal chests are like 2, 5, and 7 depending on like how big they are. Like the small ones are 2, the medium ones are 5, and the big ones are 7. Which they all used to be like 1 point. So like the meta now is all of the shit that you were doing last season, like gear swapping and like collecting all the treasure and everything, plus like killing literally everything that moves and looting every single box. That's how you do it. And interacting with all of the shrines and all that shit. So you get a bunch of points that way. So like on average, I'm doing like 1,100 points by myself, something like that. But outside of that, it's really difficult to get anything more. You have to get pretty lucky.
All right. You don't play High Roller right now.
So AP system.
Yeah, like you get to like purple, and then you just kind of like take a break and play something else. Honestly.
All right. So OnePeg says
or you
system.
exploit your balls off and get gear funneled.
Katie, what do you think? What's the system or one thing you change about the game currently?
It's kind of a hot take. I would say make solo on a rotation of the maps, just so everyone can always do all the quests.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
not
what I
everyone
said.
can always play trios, not everyone can always play duos, but everyone can always play solos. So just put solos on a rotation.
I'm
let
with
people do
you.
the quest. That's all I want. I just want to do my fucking quest. That's it.
I want solo ice caverns. Yeah, I'm with you. That's a great change.
I about rotations, but it honestly is the only way forward. If we're gonna have so many maps, so much content, I don't want to be locked onto one. It feels so bad. It feels worse than having to wait 15 minutes. That's for sure.
The rotations, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
The rotations, man. Like, here's the deal, right? When the community was bitching and moaning for it, I have another spicy take where I can alienate half the darker community against me. What do you call it? Essentially. Last patch, right? You got ruins in the game. Most people were salty about it because there was a bunch of classes that dominated, like Ranger and anything that was like throwing axe meta, whatever, everything that just worked. Range really worked on it. So if you weren't ranged, you just got filtered, right? So people were frustrated with that. Then you got the trio guys who wanted to just go to boss. Sorry, I got the burps. They wanted to go to boss and just farm bosses, right? And you had the ruins map, then you had to go to crypt, then you had to go to the dungeon. So you had 3 steps to get to that fucking experience. Add on to that the rotations. So they were extra salty about it. Then most of like the average Joe players had left, and it was just the nerds, right? Because it was averaging like 2,000 in dungeon, 2,000 in the lobby for like what, a month there or something. So
Something like that.
most of
Yeah.
those people,
Oh, yeah,
most of those people were arguing, "Hey, you know, give us our dungeon back, give us our crypts back, blah blah blah." So you had what I'd call like you had the rest of the player base that it fucked off that would probably like that, and those people that were there doing that one thing were sticking around with the game. So they got rid of it. Yeah, like they could have shortened the rotations to like every 5 minutes. So worst case, you just go in your inventory for 5 minutes, mess around, ready, and it's already rotated once, maybe another 5 minutes. Like I know people have 9 to 5 jobs, and not everyone's a full-time streamer around the game or whatever, right? But 10 minutes, you know, take a shit, you know, do your inventory, whatever. Like there's things you can do. Like it's not that long. Like people sit in a 10-minute queue in Tarkov all the time. Like
30.
this game doesn't
But
have
yeah.
that. You know, you literally just hit the button and you're in the game in within 3 minutes. It's a max, what, 3-4 minute queue these days.
3 minutes.
So yeah,
Sometimes
so
more.
if they make it just a 5-minute rotation, Katie, it won't be that big of a deal. And I totally agree. They need to bring it back because hey, I'm happy to just sit in the duo map all day. Like
So-
I found my place, but for the greater good of the game, I would agree that rotations need to come back in some capacity where everyone's happy.
They
You know?
talked about the rotation timers, and the problem with making it a short duration is that people wait to the end of the timer to get a free lobby. And more low the timer is, you know, the more of those free lobbies that happen.
Mm.
I don't think that necessarily matters because I just go to Tokyo for my free lobbies every time.
I go to Brazil.
But but I mean, that's the dev man answer last time I heard about that. So I probably wouldn't bring it back on a low timer, but I agree. Bring back the rotations. I mean, duos and trios, like, I mean, you could even keep them that way. I don't know, keep them on the maps if people like them on, trios don't want to be forced off
Or
trips. But
or I have a hot
bring it
take.
back.
It's just hot takes left,
Oh,
right,
hit it.
center.
Hit it.
Right? What if we just have a biome like we have for each mode, but they keep making different variations of it that are really good? And every time you queue into it, there's a variation of the modules. They've been switched around, or they're just better design ones.
So like a 3x3 to like a 5x5. Like a
Whatever.
bigger-
Yeah, there's just
Okay, I could see
different.
that.
Like there's,
Smaller mixes, yeah.
yeah, and there could be variations. Like there could be blue goblins in the next one, or whatever. Like you know what I mean?
Hey,
Like,
that's offensive
I
to
don't know.
Smurfs. Please, like,
It's
not blue,
some
alright.
like
Yeah, this
some
is
like
close.
some like Diablo 2 kind of style shit, you know, where it's like,
Yeah.
you know, like they could do that, and you've still got identity with the different modes, and then some variation, you know.
Sure. That
Yeah,
sounds
I don't
fun.
know. Yeah, or worst case, they
Snowy
just
goblin caves, fiery
yeah,
goblin caves.
or
Yeah.
we get 3 more maps, and it's just a second map for each queue, and it rotates, but not like on a timer. It's just like you either, you know, you get this goblin version, or you get the, I don't know. I'm trying to think of it like another kobold, you know, like something like that, because the kobold's already in the ice map. So yeah, I don't know. There is, in the ways of the Muad'Dib, there is a very narrow path that they can they can find here, you know.
As it is
So-
written.
Listen, Agaib. But yeah, people treat SDF like that. I don't know. You see in the Discord chat. Listen, Agaib, he's writing SDS writing.
Yeah.
He is the
yeah.
Kwisatz Haderach, dude.
Yeah.
It really is.
He really is.
That's funny.
But anyway, I yield. The floor is yours.
Katie, go.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
What's
go
the
ahead.
floor?
I hijacked you. She said rotations is what
No,
needs to
bring the
come back.
rotation. That's it. That's my stance.
Mm.
Coke shaky. Simple as.
I'm
What if it
basically
was just
that's why I jumped on, because that's basically what I was going to say. Like you said the AP, which I agree with. Katie said about the rotations. They're the 2 things, and I already said what triggers me: the goblin caves. So it's like they're the 3 things that piss me off. Everything
What if
else,
they just
like,
hid it
I
away
have
from
issues
everyone?
with classes, but they're not. Nothing's breaking the game. Like Warlock pisses me off right now, but I know there's ways I can deal with it. You know what I mean? So I don't bitch and moan about it. Like it is what it is. Like so, yeah. They're the 3 things that trigger me right now in the game, which would help. I think if they investigated those 3 things, help themselves, help the community. Because yeah, like I don't know. I never boss farmed on crypts, so I'm not a part of that tribe, right? But I understand why you know, some people were triggered by the rotations, but I had no issue with it. Like it gave variety to the experience, you know. So,
What do you guys think about utility throwing item meta? It still exists. That annoys me. I'm annoyed by that shit still.
No, the problem is they did a good fix, right? Where every time you equipped throwing axes to your inventory, this is the tool, the fucking tool, the 6 boxes, right? The tool kit. I don't know what you call it. The belt. You equip it. It takes 2 to 3 seconds, right? With the inventory timer. That's great because on the fly when you're running, you can't just hit tab, fucking equip the whole inventory with it, right? But you've got 6 of those still. So if you go into the dungeon or you've already like mid, you know, looting, you've set up 6 throwing axes. So as a barbarian, I just keep all my bandages and my potions in my inventory, right? And I'd put the 6 stacks. They're 2 each, right? You do the math. It's, you know, 6 on one side and 6 on the other. So you essentially you can still throw 12 throwing axes at someone in a fight.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
So that's the issue there is like maybe they put throwing they turn, what do you call it? They put the you can't stack 2, it's only 1. Same with throwing knives maybe. I don't want to trigger those people. It's not my I'm dealing with it, but you know, that's still the problem is that you can still have so many on your tool belt.
Yeah.
That's basically why. Otherwise it has kind of been remedied. It's a band-aid for something that's still an issue if you know what you're doing, like if you're a sweaty. The
Have you ran into it a lot?
Only once, and it
Since
did
then?
make me want to fist my screen. Just some barbarian, just the typical shit where it's like a barbarian hits the rage button and and he just throws like an endless wave of it where it's like, because I said in one of my recent videos, and I copped a bit of flack for it, but I still firmly believe if you can have more than 2 or 4, rather, you can have more than 4 because you can miss one, right? If you have more than 4 and you have like 12 in your inventory and your tool belt, they're better magic missiles than a wizard's magic missiles or a fireball because you're like they really are like they're a better.
It's a good
caster.
clip, by the way.
Yeah,
Your video.
so
Yeah.
they're a better caster than casters, even warlocks, right? But hopefully they'll figure out a way to deal with that. It's only the sweaties that are doing that, I think, right now for some reason. I've noticed it be less. It's not as apparent.
Yeah, it's
But
getting
once
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what's the best thing in the game right now? I know it's a very broad fucking question, but what do you guys think? I love jolly cooperation with VoIP. I think it's great. There was a video
I like
on
watching
Reddit.
rogues die.
I like that too. But I was watching a clip on Reddit, and there was like a full lobby in norms, just a bunch of Timmies that got together to kill the Lich, and it was like, I don't know, like 10 people
that's
there
awesome.
killing the Lich. And I just it was great. Like I thought it was just hilarious. Everyone was having a good time when they finally killed the Lich. No one actually died. They got the Lich down. Everyone was cheering in VoIP. It was very adorable. I think VoIP is great, and I love whenever people actually just don't beast mode on each other and actually hang out in game. That's one of my favorite things about the game right now.
You want to know what Timmy's do with VoIP, dude? I played
Oh, God.
one game off stream like the other day. In like the last 5 months, I can never play off stream. But I played one with like my IRL buddies that are both Timmys. And we were like about to fight these guys, and then they were like talking about how they miss VoIPing like from the playtest. So we were like, whatever, we're chilled. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to. I put my voice on, but we ran into another team about 2 minutes later, and I see my friend. He like scurries off. I'm like, what the fuck was he doing? And we're having like this epic 3v3. It's like super intense. And then 10 seconds later, I see the other 3-man just round the corner and jump behind the team we're fighting. And that's where the fuck he went. He went to fucking like rat call to him. Hey, let's go 6v3 these guys. That's what Timmy's do, bro. I played one game and they're out here trying to team on people. I was like, damn.
Oh, shit.
You know,
Timmy's
I would
cannot
say
be
I'm
trusted, bro.
Absolutely
No.
sick.
No.
Devious.
I would say I'm better than that, but that is what I do in Goblin Caves. If I just see somebody and I'm like, I see a Warlock and I'm like playing a fighter, I just run up to the other fighter. I'm just like, dude, let's fuck this guy up. I'm like, come on. And the dude's always like, yeah. And then we get it.
That's
what
great.
happens when you do kill him though? Like, what do you guys do? Is it
Yeah,
just
I'm
like
a pretty
death
nice
match?
guy. I'm not a ruthless guy. I'm normally just like have it. You know, it's more of the experience for me.
So like when you're playing Tarkov and you're scavving and there's an airdrop and you're like the second scav there and the first guy's
Wow,
looting, you
that's-
don't execute him.
That's different. All right.
That's-
Listen, I can
man.
spawn in with a kit in this game. All right. Tarkov is ruthless. All right.
Oh,
Those are my
No
rubles.
scav
my,
on scav violence, man. Come on.
I don't think
There's
I've
a
ever
code.
not been shot in
there's
the back of the head
exceptions to the rule.
on the first one there.
It's toxic, but mob dumping, like clips of it. You said like the best thing in
Oh,
the game.
yeah.
It's more like
No,
a
yeah.
crazy
People?
pleasure, not the best thing in the game. Just seeing people get mob dumped is fucking hilarious. I love it. I love
Dude,
clips of
yeah.
that shit.
The clip where Katie was playing Wizard and she fucking trained a guy and just went invis and watched all the mobs just eat him. That was
It's so
Love
easy in
that
Goblin
shit.
caves now. You know, you
Yeah.
blow one door up and there's people everywhere. So
love that shit.
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I know Katie's done that a time or two when we've been playing Crips before. I'm like, she just keeps going. I'm like, Katie, you got like 50 fucking zombies chasing you. She got like
I
a whole
read a
game
little bit
plan.
sometimes.
I don't know if this will translate well telling it as an anecdote. I've got the clip. I'll try and put it in my next video because it is fucking hilarious. But so you know the duo maps, you got those boat extracts. I don't know how to explain it, but the top right boat, or maybe the top left. If you're looking at the map, northeast. Anyway, top left map, the boat exit on the top left.
Mhm.
Me and my duo partner,
left.
we're fighting. Yeah, the top left. We're fighting, right? There's the bottom right and there's the top left. There's the two boat extracts. Now you know. So yeah, we're fighting. We kill a duo. We've made a lot of noise, but there's a whole bunch, like in the process. There's like 2 rooms worth of bullshit chasing us, and he goes into the boat room, and he's about to close the door. I have him chasing me. These 2, like literal 2 modules worth of like PVE chasing. Door closed. Another duo's heard all the commotion. We're really low HP, so we're all panicked. Blah blah blah, and the boat's about to come. Right, and
It's
it's,
about to
just
what?
land. It's about to come. It's climaxing, right? And
Oh, hey, keep going.
The boat's
It's,
like me for real.
Can you finish, please?
it splashes in the water, right? And he's gone for it, my teammate. So now I'm on my own, and 2 fucking warlocks come out of this door on the left. Right? They don't
Okay.
enter; they come through the door. Anyway, they see me. They think I'm a solo. They're really hot and sweaty, but spaghetti. They're throbbing,
You're
and
not
they go
solo,
straight
though.
for me. Instead of me panicking, I just eureka moment. It was an unintentional mob dump. I hit the fireball on Wizard, turn around, cast it in the door, and then hit invis and jump in the water. Shit, you know, it was 2 frost giants with the shields and about like 10 kobold, little warriors and archers. And just I do a little peek as I'm going into to jump onto the bridge and then onto the boat. And it was just, they went from being overconfident to just like, shit. Like that's what I love. And like moments like that in the game. Cause like, I think Jay was talking about how like, he really likes like a lot of the arena fights and all that kind of shit. But PvE moments like that, I love, where you can use the map against your enemies. I love that. Like, it was just a quick thinking moment where I got to use the map as my playground and go, oh shit, I just had all those guys, that PvE blocked on that door, quick busted open, run. And now it's like, it's just a Katamari ball of bullshit going towards those guys. So yeah, stuff like that. That's the stuff that has been getting me.
Getting your rocks off.
Thank you.
Yeah,
What the-
nice.
Is a calamari bowl just not a bowl of calamari?
No,
bro?
Katamari.
Katamari.
What the fuck is
It's
calamari?
Game. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
What is
Japanese
it?
thing where it's like, think of like a bowl of like cars, humans, bullshit, debris, just picking up,
Okay.
going downhill.
I just thought
So
it
I
was
feel
a
like a
ball
PvE
of
mod,
I'm so
octopus.
confused. I think
isn't it?
I thought it was a ball of fried octopus, calamari
Dude,
ball.
he said that calamari bowl. I'm like, what the fuck?
Did
Is
I?
it like a
All right.
meatball of
He said
Bro.
Katamari. You said Katamari, not calamari.
I've never heard that word. So
All I know is that a boat climaxed and Spuddy was
And 2
Flexing.
giants
was
right
not
after
solo.
a dude. Yeah.
He had a partner. He was ready.
It was bottom
he had a
right,
partner and the
apparently.
boat was gonna
Yeah.
climax. That's what I got.
The calamari was crumbed. That's the end of the anecdote. All right?
Anyone else have a
Yeah.
current favorite thing about the game?
Probably
The quest.
normals.
Uh,
Just normals.
quests are really
Normals
good.
are great right now.
Normals.
They're really good.
Yeah, normals same. Yeah,
really
I'm with
good.
you on that.
Squire's my new favorite thing. I mean, they really nailed that. That's such a W.
Hell yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Squire norms, that's the best shit right now. Jay, Donnie?
You go
I'm
first,
enjoying
Donnie.
the quests, man. Quests are a lot of fun.
Quests are
I feel
so
like
much
you-
better now. Yeah. Obtainable. Doable.
I'm curious what like the in-game like complete all the quest rewards are as far as the Squire goes, but they're fun. You know, getting a good amount of them done, and it gives you a reason to play norms if you just want to chill. You don't have to like go and sweat to get AP. You can just hop on normals and quest and kind of fill your guy out a
Good
little bit.
experience too.
Yeah.
You're
They
trying
got
to
rid of
grind
those
multi-token.
class kills as well. So if there was a class that wasn't meta, you would just never find them. My favorite
Yeah.
was when Wizard
Thank
was
God.
completely useless. It was kill 5 wizards. I was like, looking around the map. Any wizards here? Hello. Fuck yeah, that's just shit.
It looked like Spuddy just cast invisibility on himself there for a second with that green screen.
All
Holy
the
shit.
people running around with the bards named quest reward and things like that. Because no one was playing bard. That was very funny.
Yeah.
Trying to give people their bard kills like some public service.
Jay.
Fellas, I got to scoot. I
you gotta dip?
pack. Otherwise, I got to get on a plane at 4 a.m. and it's 10:30 now. So.
Oh yeah, go.
Fair.
Yeah. That's
Enjoy the shooting.
I gotta go pack. But thank you for the
Enjoy your
for the pod.
freedom.
It was good times.
Thank you
I'm
so
gonna
much
go
for
shoot some pew pews.
Yeah, enjoy
Hell
that.
yeah.
Thank you so much for joining, man. I appreciate it.
That was a good
Yeah,
time.
thank you,
Thanks, fellas.
OnePeg.
Bye, Katie.
Awesome. Have a good trip.
Bye,
Nice
bud. Good to see you.
Bye.
See you.
Cheers. All right.
Jay. Favorite things, I'm not gonna lie.
Damn.
You turned to me. You look dead inside with the game. at the
Yeah,
moment.
my
Are you
God.
secretly enjoying it? Are you
Oh.
secretly enjoying it? I'm just joking. I'm taking the piss.
Jay just clocks in, dude.
Yeah, I kind of. Oh, I've been pushing.
You have done everything in the game, though. That's the thing.
I'm struggling. I think with the whole like maining one game thing. Starting to catch up is all. I've never mained really one game. Like I'll main a game, but I will play a shit ton of other games at the same time. You know.
Yeah,
So I think it's just that. But
if
I
you're a
just wanted
content creator,
more.
you got to learn to like. I think take a note out of Pesley's book. Like he got to the point where he played with a fucking microwave on his lap. You know what I mean? You got to start.
Yeah.
You got to like.
Alright.
You got to win a match while I don't know.
This is what I told you, Jay. You gotta spice it up. Invite viewers in and
Yeah,
hope they
yeah,
don't
yeah.
say.
Let's not go
Imagine this,
there.
right? Imagine
I
this
want
is
to see
going
a
to be like
microwave stream.
in a couple years' time. You and I have done everything. So like we've completed everything in the game and done every kind of challenge possible. That'll get to the point where it's like, okay, we've got to like do the Crips solo 1v3. It's a tournament. It's a streamer tournament. It's sponsored by Hitachi, and we've got to have a vibrator up our ass at max level while getting 10 kills per match. You know what I mean? Like that's how much you'll have played the game. That's what you need to do to get kicks in the game. I'm just giving you a heads up because I know Pesley. I've known Pesley for a couple of years now, and he's had to do all this wild shit to keep that fresh for him because that's all he does. He does Tarkov day in day out for like it would be since 2017. Just think of that.
Yeah, I'm not quite there. I'm not shirtless wiener in the microwave stream yet, but we'll make some other steps is all. I was possibly thinking of like maybe doing some events, like hosting stuff or something. Because
Here you go.
So these ones are good.
It sounds like it'd be fun.
Don't forget about vacations. Vacation once in a while is good too. It's a good
my
reset.
biggest thing is, I know. I just I wanted everything else, so but I've been stuck on that for a while. There's the whole like
arena.
wipe it with 90% of the wipes content missing. You know, it's like it's just a weird thing to me, and it's just like I think I'm.
I know what you're saying. All the stuff that was promised is not there yet.
Yeah, it's like
you
know. But I understand that they need a couple weeks, whatever.
I'm glad they didn't rush Druid though, because every time they rushed a class, it was a shit show.
Yeah.
Like, think of Bard. Bard was one of the when they rushed that was one of the worst. Like
Yeah,
when it was
those are
OP
dangerous words, Spud. Okay, because
Yeah?
now we're implying that when it comes out, it won't be rushed, and therefore will be. You know what I mean? Like
Feature
we're setting a bit of
complete,
an almost like a bit of an expectation. It's just dangerous. That's all I'm saying. You know.
I can't wait for the Reddit threads. The rat is OP.
Oh yeah, everyone's a bear. How am I supposed to play this game when everyone turns into a bear?
You gotta get off the Reddit, man. You can't go on the Reddit, brother.
Well, the problem is I'm off everything else. I'm off Twitter, Facebook, every other form. Like
Me
Reddit's
too.
my only social media.
Same here.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I took everything else off the phone. I fucking hate all of it. But Reddit's.
Dude, you gotta go.
Yeah,
You gotta
okay.
fully incorporate the Chinese persona. Download TikTok. Get rid of Reddit.
Ni hao
okay?
mao.
Just get your CCP information and be a happy boy, dude. Come on.
I have been streaming on DUTV recently, trying to broaden my horizons.
Wait,
Alright.
what is
I've been-
DUTV?
DUTV is like the Twitch.
Oh, okay.
China.
Pretty sure. Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
It's
it's
like
a
China, isn't it?
hybrid of Twitch and
Oh
YouTube.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's a great idea though. You can just stream on it simultaneously, huh?
I wonder if they'd let you. I
That's
highly doubt it.
interesting.
Yeah.
Uh,
What do you mean, bro? They built our cell towers like 70 years ago, going for the long con, bro. You don't think they'll let us broadcast it?
Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Gotta break into the Chinese market. Damn.
All right, let's swap over to Q&A for just a little bit. Let's get a few questions before we call. We've been going over 90 minutes actually. Time flew. Chats, drop it on us. What do you got? Questions, comments, concerns, bitching, gripes, complaints, compliments. What do you guys got?
I think I sounded bad. I do like the game, by the way.
I was just
like
checking
it.
the
It sounded terrible, Jay. No, who cares? Yeah. I mean, the novelty wears off of everything eventually, and you've been no-lifing this shit as a full-time job almost 7 days a
Hey,
week
you're
for
married
over a
again.
year. It's almost as if it's normal that you should be feeling this way. Yeah.
It's only been 18 months, not a year.
Nearly 2 years,
Not,
isn't
not
it?
that long.
Feels like 2 years to me.
Yeah.
Was it?
I remember
end of
Valheim,
2022?
Jay.
September 22.
Yeah, well, over
You
a
said
year, I
Don?
think is what I said. But yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just making a joke.
All right, Jeff the F. What new weapon should be added with Druid? I'm hoping they don't start with a fucking Q staff and be boring. Didn't they? Wasn't there supposed to be like a? There was
We're supposed to have
a.
a club.
Yeah, there's as a club, and I hope they get Shillelagh, which is like the when you get like,
Yeah, like a
nature
shillelagh. Yeah,
damage. Yeah, that'd be like a
fun.
cool spell. But it's just essentially just like what's the
They get the
fucking
maces too, right? No doubt. I probably get the maces.
what's the cleric spell where you just get plus damage to your weapon?
Smite.
Calamari ball.
Not
Holy
Smite.
Strike.
Is it Holy Strike? No, Holy Strike's the
Divine
range.
Strike.
Divine
Holy
Strike.
Strike, yeah,
Divine
Right.
Strike.
Yeah, I hope it's not just a copy of that, but
Think they'll have access to the spear, maybe?
that makes sense.
Is that
Yeah,
a druid
that'd be
thing?
cool.
Yeah.
Dude,
That'd be
Vine
cool.
Whip, give him like a Vine Whip type spell or like melee type thing. That'd be fun.
Yeah, some CC.
Yeah, why not?
That's what I really want. I want like, well, maybe not CC. I just want AOEs for Christ's sake. I think it'd be fun. Ditch chain lighting. Give me some AOEs so people don't have anything to bitch about or something.
There's always gonna be
6
something to bitch
chain
about, though.
lightnings. It's just criminal, you know? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, it's a little unethical.
it's criminal.
It's pretty crazy, yeah.
These unethical Korean
like straight
developers.
up, straight up against the Geneva Convention shit.
It's just not even right, man. Like it's just so fucked up. Especially
You're
when
not
you
supposed to shoot paratroopers, goddammit.
I feel like this game's never really had the lightning rod era, like
It's-
really hit.
is here.
But I think if they leave it, it's gonna just be everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here's another question. What can by Jen from Genmanade? What can be done to the normals game loop that would improve it?
All right, there's a hot take for this one. I got a
Okay.
hot take for this one.
Okay.
Hear me out on this. What if the items found in those normal modes could still be brought back in so long as they aren't like brought into High Roller or like sold on the market or anything? They're like stuck to normals until like you take them to a different mode. Then they're like, you can never take them back, kind of thing.
It'd be fun to test out.
Worth testing. I had a similar
SSF
thing.
in a way?
Yes, it's similar to
Like you
that.
just like lose everything.
I think in 1 week it becomes a cesspool.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Look
shame.
look at the gear restrictions. The people were doing. I said so many times. People will do anything and everything to not play High Roller and still just like
Yeah.
have the biggest advantage. So,
Yeah, I mean it might suck. It might suck. It'd just be nice to have like a solo self-found mode, I guess.
I've been saying
Would
that
be-
for a
would be
long
really
time.
nice.
Yeah. Self-found mode would be the best. I would only ever play
Yeah.
that. I hate buying shit off the marketplace. I don't know why. It waters the experience down for me.
I agree myself. I've always felt that way though.
Yeah. I try to stay completely away from it. And yes, I realize that I can just choose not to unlock the trader. Don't spend the gold. I get hit 15 and ignore it. But that doesn't mean other people are. So people
Yeah.
are going to come in with biscuits and they're going to fucking slap me around because I decided that I'm going to be cool and be self-found. I don't know. If there was an option at character creation where you get to pick self-found, yes or no, I would pick yes every single time for sure. But I know that I could be in the minority there. So, yeah, not biscuits. You guys know what I mean. Space,
Put
kits.
biscuits in the game.
I don't know if
Biscuit.
I'm just like slowly fallen out of the genre. I feel like I have since Tarkov, but I think after a while it kind of gets old having to gear. Just to be honest, like
Well, I think
I go
insurance
play
Yeah.
like
another
I go
one.
play like Siege, right? It's like there's nothing to think about, bro. You just push play, and then it's just like, can I click better than this guy? You know what I mean? And like Dark and Darker is like, fuck, bro, this guy is stat checking the fuck out of me. I'm just gonna like, it's just so awful. Sometimes. But
That's why I
think
like
that's it.
norms, dude. It's reset every game. You find some upgrades. You feel powerful for a round. Maybe you go down to hell and you try to boss, and you get something that you unfortunately won't be able to bring back in the next round, which to Katie's point would actually be kind of cool. But what do you guys think about, and this is really fucking crazy, but what about white items, normal items that have more unique artifact-like
I've been asking for it
affixes?
for so long. Yeah, just like
Yeah.
artifact light, you know,
Yes,
like
yes.
yeah, no, 100 really weak effects. Yes,
Very weak, but
With
absolutely.
still
effects
it
Yeah.
changes it
added.
up. Yeah.
We need new
Lockpick
rolls on
gloves.
items. I need new fun rolls on items. You know, like please Iron Hammer. You
Yeah.
know,
I'm
that
not
would
and
be
I'm not
so
saying
good.
greens. Katie, you're not saying greens either, right? I'm not
No, like,
talking
I
about
mean,
another
like, it
stat
could be,
roll.
like,
It's something unique.
purple legendary, like rare rolls on them or something. You know, like not something you see every day, but maybe something a little more common than artifact weapons. I mean, even artifacts should be, in my opinion, more common. But yeah, I mean, new Aphex rolls would be sick.
Yeah,
Be
I
very
agree.
good.
Sure.
Agreed.
I mean, I like that we get luck on them, like on the pieces now. Even though luck feels so worthless to get, it's still nice to see something new rolling on those items.
Yeah. I agree. Are greens
is-
not just the most useless fucking thing in the game right now? It really
I don't think. I'm pretty sure the jump is massive
I
percentage.
love greens. I think
so
greens are great.
That is an interesting one though. Like, how do you improve normals? Because I do think normals is like gonna be a hot go-to. After a while.
Why fix what's not broken?
Well, it's not fixed. Just like build on it.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know what you would build. I feel like you can do everything in
Yeah.
the game already.
Yeah.
Playing normals.
There's no gear progression. in
That's
normals,
the
right?
biggest thing.
Well,
No
also,
gear
it doesn't
progression.
sound
That's
Some
why I mentioned
classes-
the one thing that's missing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to talk about it in a way that won't negatively impact people, like going to market and searching bonus damage on every single piece of gear I can get, and then buying the 50G versions and going around and trying to one tap people, right? Like
Sure.
that's very different from going into normals, playing 20 rounds, finding a pretty playable set, and then running it. Like that's totally different, you
Yeah.
know.
There's
don't know.
there's some light roasting in chat. Like,
Yeah.
didn't we just talk about how norms is fine? Why are we talking about a fix something that isn't broke? I hear
There's
you,
no,
Donnie.
We're not fixing.
It's
that
not
or
a fix, just
anything, but-
adding to it. Like, how do you make the soup taste a little bit better? Is what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
I can see the point because right now you have like super low tier, which is normals, and then you have everything else, which is high rollers. It would be nice if maybe there's like a little bit of a middle ground, like Katie was saying, where you can
I get
find
full
just kind of
lobbies
a
in normals. I get full lobbies. People
Oh,
like
yeah.
I queue in and like it just starts. Like
Same.
everyone's running on the tavern. I go to high roller, dead. No,
Yeah.
people don't want to play high roller. It's just that is just what it is, right? Like they don't like what I think happened to Goblin Caves is on my rogue. Like when I get to Pathfinder, dead lobbies, nothing, right? And I'll run around and like eventually like I'll die to some chat or something, some super omega giga wizard of hell, just pissed out of his mind, grinding like no tomorrow. He'll kill me, and then I'll get knocked back down. And then suddenly my lobbies are full in Wander again, like to an extent.
Hmm.
And it's like
I think that's an
Ah,
AP thing though, because it was
it
like
is
that
an AP
initially
thing.
when they first added it too.
it is, but my point is that making Goblin Caves smaller and reducing portals didn't make people be like I mean, it made people be less friendly, but it also made those people that were being friendly, they didn't suddenly start PvPing. They just logged out, right? Or they went to normals. They just stopped playing. You can't make people like fight. Like they just stop playing the game if they don't, if they can't play the same the way they want to. If they're not enough portals or whatever. So when it was 7, it was bad. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
Do you think?
Streamers so out of touch with the actual player experience. I really agree.
That's
Personally.
kind of true. I mean, the people that you guys all have a great audience because you guys are fucking killers in the game. You guys can do anything you want in the game, and you guys are going to excel at it. That's the truth. The average player is not experiencing the game like you are. Whenever I play with my friends in Discord, my friend will say, "Man, Repos just plays a different game than I'm playing right now. Like I feel like I'm not even playing the same game as him." Sure, it's a get good skill thing, yeah, but whatever. Do you guys think that HR would be improved if just the gear gap shrank, which is something I've talked about before. I talked about it last week. Instead of such a massive fucking power gap, what if they just shrank down that gap to like, okay, if I have full purple and legendary gear on and I go up against a guy in all blues, the most I'm going to be more powerful than him is like 10 to 15%. So I still have an advantage.
What's the point of gear?
Is
right?
then you
That's-
get
Well,
that,
then
you get that argument of, bro, what are we grinding for, dude?
Sure.
Bro, what's the point of the game? bro?
15% more
Where
power.
did the glasses come out of?
You grind for
What's the
15% more
point of
power.
Dark and Darker, bro? Are you some kind of scrap, bro? Just get good.
Well,
Like
that's
that's what it turns into. So it's like I actually agree because I like skill-based games, right? Where it's just it's you,
Yes.
not fucking what you're wearing.
yeah.
I feel like the current version they've kind of squeezed a bit because of the marketplace and how cheap things are right now. Like I said, if you grind just a little bit and you farm some shitty items and you sell it, like a bunch of random blue crap that you can find in chests in one HR game in duos, and you quickly get to an extract, you can make 200, 300, 400 gold out of just junk. And then all of a sudden you go to the market and you found with that 500, you could purchase 2 green or blue rings with some really good lucky stat rolls. And that, it's like knowing what to build. Like me with Wizard, I keep going for flat damage and spell casting speed. Those 2 things. Sometimes I worry about stacking on HP. Some people don't even know what to build. So like for me, it's HP, flat damage, spell casting. That's it. And then that's why people think you're OP because you're running back, going zap, zap, and you're keeping distance, right? Instead of, because one of the biggest issues with that class is casting speed can be really slow. People can already hit you for 10 times before you even get something off. So yeah, like bringing it down, but then you're going to have the argument, what is our reason for being? What's our raison d'etre, in the game? Like, and I got no issue with that. I just know that people argue with that. Like, there was remember the big shitstorm over getting rid of all the attributes back, like not to name drop, but it's just people who know what I'm talking about when I mention the stream, like Mendo, how he popped off about it, like that era. Remember when they tried to fuck around with it back then and how much of a big deal it was? So I don't know.
I still think
I'd be happy
people
with either way.
I still think people would grind for 15% more power. They would still grind for the chance of an extremely rare artifact that would make them OP for a few rounds until they eventually died. I still think people would be stoked on it.
I don't think that argument ever holds up. The whole then what are we grinding for? It's just you're just rearranging the numbers. It's the same game, just the numbers are different.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Okay, do you want us to let's just throw a hypothetical. Let's say they just one day deleted purple and above, but they made the blue the nice white shiny unique color. Like nobody would bat a fucking eye, I think, right?
Yeah, didn't you mention last week what if there was just less rarities? Was that you, Jay?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Like I'm not an expert and I don't know what I'm talking about, and I genuinely mean that, but I can't imagine a game with 9 rarity tiers, 9 baseline numbers that just, how do you balance that? I just don't. It's like you're making it super hard, and it's like, do we really need?
You don't need them.
Junk, poor, common, uncommon, all the way up to unique, or can you cut it at purples and make purples the new unique, and it be fine, right? And not break the game. But
yeah. Do we need dark gray, light gray,
all.
and then white, and then a better white? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I mean, genuinely, you don't.
I think I've got a different opinion. I like the gear tiers. I like that there's so many gear tiers. I mean, I don't feel like there would be no reason to play. If they were condensed, right? The power. But I still like them. I like the progression. I think if anything, the solution lies in mechanics like insurance, right? I think things like that will make the experience better for a lot more people when the majority of their items are going to come back because nobody's looting it to begin with. Or things like what the devs were talking about with server selection removal. A lot of sweats just straight up go to a different server to get an empty one to free farm, right? It's just how it is, right? They're going to Tokyo, they're going to fucking East Asia, they're going to Brazil,
which is weird.
They're avoiding each other, and it just they spread among these servers, and it exacerbates the issues of these dead queues. They're not fighting each other, and then suddenly everyone's in empty lobbies. So I think that's a problem, but what's the, I don't know, removing server selection is scary, right?
Yeah, I'm just glad I just show up once a week and yap on this podcast. I'm so glad I don't have to fix any of these fucking problems. No, man, you're good.
It would suck to be Iron Mace right now, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's so many different directions you could go, and it's just good luck. I don't know. I hope you do good.
They mentioned the insurance. They mentioned the server selection.
You won't make everyone happy though. That's the one rule.
Game
Like
dev
they
is
can't
hard.
make
which,
everyone
which is
happy.
fine.
Yeah.
I don't think you should ever think that to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some people do.
I
That's what the cycle guys tried to do.
Yeah, you gotta make a decision. You gotta go in a direction and stick with it. Or if it fucking sucks, turn around and go a different direction. But don't
Sure.
go every direction because then it's gonna suck.
I do just think that the stat checking, maybe what I said earlier about the whole like gearing thing isn't even it. I do think the stat checking is just like, it's honestly just boring.
It gets
truly.
old. Yeah.
Like when I play with my Timmy friends, it's not like, oh, we're going to run into the team thinking it's like some god level players. It's like, no, we're going to run into like the dudes that have been just super geared and like
The gear, right?
I've got
Not
a
you
big
guys
credit
aren't really
card.
the best players. I understand, but like, you know, our win rate was already 5%, and then
You
you
don't have
add
to be
your
a
skill
mechanical
in,
god
we're
when you
like
have max
0.5%, bro. It's like, I'm gonna just be honest, like we should just go for the blue. And I genuinely I hate that feeling, like truly. I think it just kills
Yeah.
a lot. Is all.
I mean, realistically, right? Other than like artifacts, I mean, the majority of high roller is stat checking. For the most part, usually team that has the better stuff wins.
I mean,
Depends on the class. Some classes, sorry to
Okay,
jump,
you
but some
can-
classes.
No, go ahead.
The reason why ranged meta is so strong and people lean towards it is ranged gives you the opportunity to space and keep distance on people that actually will like outgear you. That's why it's always gonna be strong until they either get rid of it out the game and there's no range, and we all just run at each other like glue sniffers and just two tap or one tap each other, and who's got the better kit wins, right? That's why range meta is so strong. That's why I keep going back to Wizard, because I find I enjoy the skill expression of like, you know, I don't just
Not
run at someone
always
and
have
hit them
options,
twice.
right?
Yeah, and then
Always have
it's
an
nice
option.
to have options as well, where it's like, okay, I can haste invis and maybe kite them through PvE or do something like that. It interests me rather than I'm just gonna roll the dice and go, I've got a good purple kit. Let's hope they don't have a good purple kit. Go. And then maybe if you got a shield, you might be able to do some skill expression with like blocking. That's the best thing. Otherwise, it's just swing, who misses, loses, bang, you're dead. And that sounds like, oh, that's how it should be, but it's not that nuanced in comparison to a game like Mordau or something. But you don't want this game to be Mordau either, because it's that's not what they're trying to make. So I don't know. I just it's either there is, I don't even know if there is a middle ground. The middle ground is where here's the deal. I've hijacked this now, and this is one of my. I've been so firm about this in Cycle Frontier, and I got into this genre because I was an arena FPS kid, and I started falling in love with this genre for some reason. Maybe I'm getting old and crusty. I don't know, but I've found through my experience with all these games, Cycle Frontier struggled with PvP balance because there was gear-based PvP. Like you'd have a blue gun and you'd get shredded by a purple KOR 47 or whatever it's called, like an assault rifle. It would just melt you. It would armor-piercing rounds just fucking destroy you, and you could do nothing. It was super accurate. And they had no way of really balancing it because it was like you either had that gun or you win or you lose. And like in this game, I mean, they're going towards the all attributes BS again. If you go into HR with like, you know, a blue kit or whatever, and someone's grinded for a week straight and they've got one of the most legendary juicer kits of all time with their duo partner, they'll probably roll you if they're half decent at the game, regardless of how skilled you are. And the only way you can deal with this shit, because it's just a fundamental thing, that it's stat checking is a fundamental thing. You can't change the fact that someone's going to do 10 plus more damage than you. If I'm a wizard and I got 10 true damage and the other person doesn't, I can kill him in 2 zaps like another squishy wizard. He has to kill me in 3. That's just a fundamental thing. That there's no way you can change those facts. So the where the skill comes in is, do I miss? And he hits everything. And that's basically it. Now, the way you deal with it is you have basically stats promote, like they boost you in PvE, if that makes sense.
Yes, I've talked about this many times.
Yeah. So let's say and they tickled on it because I remember silver weapons or something, and crafting was like some of them dealt better damage with zombies.
That's craftable though. Like discover it in the match. Yeah.
But I'm talking about all weapons, like nothing, everything in this game and all extraction games from here on out. The gear goes towards the PvE, and that's what they want to do. They've talked about having a dungeon with a dragon. We all team up, different teams fighting it. Why wouldn't they be gearing the game towards that? Where instead of we're all, because it's an identity crisis. Are we a PvP game, or we're all in the dungeon together, slaying dragons? Like you got to make your fucking mind up as a developer. Like
I disagree with that though. I think you could have both.
That's fine.
I think you could have both. Yeah.
But when it comes to balancing the PvP stuff, at the end of the day, you can't. by giving people better stats than others, you're fundamentally unbalancing a fight. So the only way to keep a balance where it's just skill is everyone's equal, and the gear that you get affects PvE. So my suggestion in Cycle was that all your guns or your armor would give you protection against acid spit from the aliens, or you would have better armor piercing rounds against a certain subtype of alien. Same with the dungeon. It's like undead, these guys, whatever. The kobolds, you could do double damage with, a certain bow type, whatever, that kind of shit. I'm not saying they have to do it now. They're not going to do it because they've committed to this with the game. It's not changing. Like, we're just pissing in the ocean. But if I had $10 million and like 10 staff and we were going to make an extraction game, I would go nowhere near making gear-based PvP. I would just balance a couple classes, make the fights interactive and fun, and that you feel like you can always counter whatever it is you're dealing with when it comes to player versus player interaction. And then when it comes to PvE, you just make the gear scale like Diablo 2 or Diablo or whatever, right? It's like you've got gear that scales with the enemy or whatever, and you've got certain gear that'll help you fight certain. If you go to a certain dungeon, you need the undead slaying sword or whatever of 20% bonus damage. And then you think about the kits where I'm going to go to that specific dungeon and that little cave in there in the dungeon, and I'm going to do that boss. I need this kit, shit like that. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's ever going to be. What do you think, boys and girls? What do you think? I don't know. I'll throw it to you.
Well,
I don't.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Jay.
let me just say one thing. And like you painted, like, everyone's on a fair level, and like, let's say the gear and guns or whatever on their or for the PvE or whatever. I don't think that, at least me, I'm not asking for like pure skill expression, Mordau, right? Because that's like one more.
Too sweaty.
It's just pure skill, right?
Oh yeah.
But I want the skill to just have more of an impact, is all. Where some
A little bit
cases
more
it's
wouldn't
like
be bad.
it's like 5% skill, 95% gear. Was that fight? It's just sometimes not. And it's if I sometimes feel like that, I can't imagine the average.
What would you take from
Like
Rainbow Six? Because you love your Rainbow Six Siege. What would you take from Siege to Dark and Darker? Because if Mordau is pure skill expression, is Siege pure skill expression?
Yes, but it's like, you can. Siege is like one of the few shooters where you don't have to have aim to be good. There's like strats, there's like ratting, there's holding like crazy good angles. Not really abilities, but like, if I'm holding you through a small pixel through 4 walls, bro, you're probably not going to win, and I'm going to win, right? Like that's what the Siege man.
Map
very
knowledge
similar
and
to the
stuff.
Equalizer of Tarkov, where I hide in bush, I one tap you in the face. It's basically like the equivalent, right?
I know what you're saying, like game knowledge versus mechanical skill, because Mordau is like
yes.
99.9% mechanical.
Because Shroud could load up Siege and sure he'll win his gunfights, but he's gonna get absolutely fucked by a gold player who has played the game for a while. Just as like an example.
Yeah.
So I don't think that kind of stuff can really carry over, but it's more just something as simple as like cutting 2 tiers off of Rarity or something would just probably like drastically raise the skill expression of the game. Just as like a random example out of my asshole.
Ladies, I'm going to be honest with you. I can't. We've gone so far down a rabbit hole. I can't remember what the original question was.
We're talking about bringing down the rarities. I don't know what the original question was, but it was bringing down the rarities. That's where it stemmed from.
So I
feel
think
like I'm in like the smoke circle, and we're just like really just going around like,
fuck yeah, dude. We should just LARP in real life. Fuck this video game shit, man. Let's just do this in the woods, man. I got a wizard hat. I've seen Jay cosplay. No, I think something that could be really cool for higher tier gear is start adding in affixes. When you start getting like purple legendary shit, add in that 10% faster or 10% more damage to demons, or I'm gonna go crazy here. Don't roast me for just trying to think as I'm talking, but like immune to bug poison or something like that. Like you start to get more powerful against poison resistance, something like that. Yeah, you start to level up against PvE, and suddenly it's not just a gear check anymore. I might be wearing a legendary armor, but that legendary armor is just making me kill demons faster and be more resistant to poison when a bug fucking shits on me. But that gear gap is not so bad, and now someone in blues might be able to kill me because my affixes, my stats are only just helping me get through the map faster, and it's not going to help me kill Timmy faster.
Are they going to increase the monsters to compensate for that? Because they make it I feel like it's it's already kind of You know,
Yeah,
it's a little. I don't wanna
it's
say
getting
easy,
it's
but,
getting
like,
easy for
you-
pros. Yeah,
I mean, I think yeah. I mean,
it's
I
getting
guess
easier for the
that's fair, That's
pros.
fair. That's
Well,
fair.
I do consider the mobs to be fairly basic. But
I
you
mean,
know,
they're
like,
right. I mean, like the
For
skeletons.
us,
Like,
for
there's only
people in
so
here,
many-
yeah.
well,
I'm
I
sure
just mean like
skeletons-
in
Well,
short design.
I think if you play the game for a week, you can kill every mob, minus bosses, without getting hit if you're actually paying attention.
Yeah,
Sure.
definitely.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, like, whenever I watch Repos or Jay or Katie or Spud, OnePeg, you guys go toe to toe with like a centaur or a berserker, and you guys just fucking like duck and dodge, and you guys do all this fucking
Yeah.
Matrix Neo shit. I'm like, you guys make it look easy.
You know what?
98% of people are like, what the fuck? I can't.
It's just a skeleton with a different model. It
I
only
get
does,
it.
like,
I get
one
it.
thing this way and one thing that way.
And
you
it's
know?
Pretty much.
great that you've come to that conclusion after fuck tons of
And-
time in the game as a person that plays it for a
And all
living.
you're
I
doing
watched a
is
Ryan
folding
video.
your hitbox. You're folding your hitbox in half. That's it. It's the hitbox.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like,
you just look
sure.
down. That's it.
Yeah.
yeah, fair enough.
right,
Let's
take
get
one
another
more
question. Yeah,
question.
let's go one more question. We're going for 2 hours. One more good question, folks. Let's see here. What do we got? Nightmare Thanos.
I
Ugh.
do agree. I think y'all want a different game. I think this game should stay on their path. Yes,
Hmm?
that's right, but like us talking about like stat checking and all this other random stuff. I think that should just always be a disclaimer, is they should do whatever they're gonna do.
Oh yeah, for sure. We're just having
Exactly.
fucking fun here. We're shooting the shit.
Yeah.
We're not devs.
Please
Yeah.
don't listen to any
Don't-
stupid fucking
Yeah,
ideas
this
we
is
have,
just a
right?
With a
fucking
grain of
pod.
salt.
Yeah,
I'm a
100%.
proctologist. I don't even know what I'm doing here.
Put your glasses back on, you
If
fucking
If
nerd.
purples and above are deleted next week, I will never say an opinion on this podcast ever again. In fact,
The J patch.
give me an idea.
Oh.
Well, we had a 2-minute bit about coming jokes. I really don't think they should. Don't come
Nah.
here for constructive
Yeah.
criticism. all right?
Exactly right. Exactly.
By the way, I'll save it for after the podcast.
Okay.
About what I was laughing about the whole time.
Oh yeah.
So fucking dumb.
All right, let's get one more good one. What do we got? What do we got? Delete OP Copper Gear. Okay. Let's get something else. What's
Great
up, Ravens?
question.
What's up, Ravens? Barkeep is a playable class. Good idea.
What if it's less pressure? We just do real quick answers to a couple. That way, you don't have
Okay,
to find
sure.
the perfect question.
Sure.
I won't ramble for 20 minutes like I do every time. I'll just be real quick. All right.
All right.
More ale perks.
Sorry, I'm trying to
Craftable
find a
weapons
small
being
question.
White rarity. I think that's just because they're releasing it in waves, by the way. I saw people post it. They're like, what have they done? Look how they butchered my boy. You know, and they posted the white
Yeah.
quality sterling sword or whatever. But that's
Mhm.
probably just because they're like time gating the content progression, rather.
Okay, what do you hope Druid has as a class ability or spell? Beyond obvious, like shape
Shapeshift.
shifting. Beyond that, come on now. Come on.
Uh,
How do you think it should play out?
Oh, dude, I
Oh.
hope they get like tame beast.
Yeah.
You know.
Ooh, animal friendship.
I want
yeah.
this wolf, and then they take the wolf for like 30 seconds or something.
That
That'd be
is
cool.
such a good idea.
Yeah.
I like
go
that.
go to the gold room and just take over the Wendigo or something.
I'm
shit-
taming every wisp ever. You guys think you're gonna buff ball? Not in my lobby, buddy.
Well, we've
All of
talked
them.
about already on the podcast how some of us enjoy getting a train of mobs and then pushing them back onto someone else. What if you just get a bunch of mobs on you and then suddenly they're your best friend and then you don't even have to go invisible. You don't have to close the door. You just fucking cast a spell and those wolves
That'd be a
start
really
eating
fun
someone
druid
else's
build.
ass. Yeah.
Like your whole class is focused around like
PvE control.
controlling and manipulating mobs. Yeah.
That sounds hilarious, and I bet you some people.
I'm already having a
pick it
bit
up.
of a fantasy right now because right now in Duo Map, I'm dealing with rogues constantly going to the gold pile room and leading out the sub bosses and then locking them out. And they're dumb. They're not going to bash through it. And I just think, what if you possess one of those? Your role players, oh, I'm getting baited out. And then you just chase them in and just beat them down. Yeah. So that's just me fantasizing. Yeah, that's basically, that's what I'd love. Just the like taming the actual PvE.
That'd be cool.
You'd be like a live romancer. Sorry.
I just
Katie.
want CC. give me some CC. I want a stun. I want a root entanglement or something.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
After ice mastery?
Well, see, Ice
still-
Master is disgusting. 10 ice bolts is criminal with that spell or
Yeah.
that perk. It doesn't make any.
Bro.
It's just illegal. I mean, even
After
just
getting
leg shotting
rooted
'em.
only like 5 times, I'm like, dude, that's unethical.
I was talking about it
It's happening
earlier.
to me, but like,
Yeah, I was talking with
Yeah.
OnePeg about it earlier. I was in a Goblin cave earlier on my Barbarian. I had ran out of Francisca axes, and I saw a wizard, and I was like, I'm just gonna run this fucker down and chop his head off. No, he was running
No.
slow and ice bolt with ice
It's
mastery.
over.
He slowed
Actually
me,
over.
and then he would hit me, and then he would slow me, and then he would hit me with a bolt, and then just to finish me off for fun, he's at me at the end. But there was literally nothing I could do.
Oh,
There
you can't
wasn't
put- It turns
anything.
your controller off. It's over.
There
It's
was
actually
nothing
over.
I could do. I tried so hard.
Literally.
Yeah, you know-
I mean, if you had 75% resist and a round shield and you were jumping and like trying to dodge, like, you know what I mean? Like absorbing some of those ice bolts from time to time.
It's just a
maybe
slower
you
death.
could outlast him.
Yeah.
Maybe. But if he has overload, I mean, you got to work through 10 ice bolts.
That's
you
right.
know?
He did have. He
Working through
did.
8
I inspected
fireballs.
at the end. He had overload. So
He's got,
yeah,
yeah, it's oh god. I don't know how that got released.
I think
Crazy,
bind was not bitched at because you weren't getting nuked for like
and you have to
70%
stop.
at a time.
There's other things you give up while
Yeah.
doing it, right? Like if you go to
Yes,
bind,
yeah.
you're not doing damage, but you're ice bolting people. Like I hit someone in the head with ice bolt, does 100 damage, and
Yeah, it used to do a lot.
Yeah.
It used to be like one of the hardest hitting spells.
Yeah.
It probably still.
you
Yeah.
get both. The cleric has to stop healing to do binding, so I think it's more balanced on him.
I think
Alright.
someone's using like a banshee call outside. It's very weird.
cool.
But yeah,
All right, final one from Derp Wigglies. What do you guys think about dynamic matchmaking, dynamic gear-based matchmaking? What do you guys think?
horrible, absolutely abysmal idea.
I don't even know if I like AP matchmaking.
If
all that
everyone
much.
always remains the same power level relative to you, then there's no point in getting gear at all. I might as well just stay in graze and just
Yeah.
keep my gray fights going. Who cares?
It
Yeah,
always gets
100%.
cheesed.
Completely pointless.
I like random. I love the
Eh.
possibility of going against someone juiced or a Timmy squad. We
I mean,
all
then you
we
get-
all get
you
fucked in the dungeon equally. That's
Which-
me though.
but-
Yeah, the randomness like is good.
By the way, when I said earlier that the whole 5 minutes and then of killing and then 35 minutes of
Excuse
looting,
me.
it wasn't that I don't enjoy the looting. It's the
Yeah.
fact that like these games thrive off of like the danger sense, right? It's like if you play an empty game, you're just PvE farm. You know it's empty. You know there's no threat, right? It's like playing a Dead DayZ server. It's like
Oh yeah.
you're
Boring.
supposed to walk in like never knowing if the dude's around this corner, if he's up there, you know, you never know. But when the lobby is dead, it just kills the game completely for me. It was what I was
Yeah.
saying earlier, by the way.
Yeah, there was a moment in, I think, playtest 4 or 5 where I was playing with a couple friends and we queued into Crypts or whatever, and no one joined the lobby. And I think, I don't know if there was like a server issue or something happened, but we had an empty lobby. So we just ran through the game and we had a PvE experience. And for one match, we were like, okay, cool. Like, we don't have to worry. We can just farm up a little bit and not get our ass
It's nice to
kicked.
get a little break.
Yeah, okay, this is
you
cool.
Just enjoy it.
And then
Yeah.
it happened a second time. We were like, okay, well, this kind of fucking sucks. And then it happened a third fucking time. We were like, oh my God, just give us a demigod that's going to chop our head off, or Timicus that we could chop the head off of. Give us something. Because this shit is not the fucking same and it sucks. It only took 3
Yeah.
matches for us to truly miss PvP.
Now imagine that for a month, which was like the end of last week.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And then the 3 people that are in your game are 3 naked rogues that are also watching the stream. You're just like,
Yes, exactly.
You know, it's like after a while it gets really like bad.
Yeah.
Was all. But I think that was just a temporary thing. I think that's-
Removal of pre-lobby. Thoughts?
Oh, best change they announced. My God, amazing. I mean, it doesn't. Not only will it improve the gameplay, right? Not being metagamed, you know, certain things will be more viable because you can surprise the enemy. You know, somebody's not going to look in your inventory and go, "Oh, that's your cheese." Okay, you're
Yep.
doing the BOC.
And this is
fan
your
lines. Like, "Oh, I know
setup.
how to
Here's your
kill you."
perks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I'm playing the fight in my head right now. I already know how I'm gonna kill this person. Like that's not gonna happen. And then secondly, the 3-minute timer is gone. Right, it opens the door
Yeah.
for us to be able to wait maybe a couple more to get a full lobby to wait for people to join the queue. I'm big about
Yeah.
it. I love that.
I will say if the matchmaking's like other games where it waits to fill, I'll miss it because I do occasionally enjoy the like not so full lobbies. But
If
it's
we can
probably
still,
much better,
still
yes.
keep dicking around with the inventory, that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah,
Tarkov
be able
doesn't
to
let
use
you
it.
do that.
Yeah, thank.
Yeah, let's use the
please God.
marketplace and stuff, right? At the same time while queuing. I mean, that
Yeah.
sounds amazing. I'd rather wait 15 minutes for a full game than gamble for 4 hours and get empty games.
Because then
Yeah.
you can just do inventory Tetris and just play cleanup while you're
I
killing.
don't feel like I'm wasting time. Like, there's no like
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm gonna do market while I get a good full game. Like that.
Yeah,
this
you
is
guys
acceptable.
ever played Rocket League? It's beautiful. You queue up. Sometimes it takes like a couple minutes, but you can do whatever you want. You can go straight into like training, and you can just play the game instantly,
Whilst
like
queuing, yeah.
instantly seamless. Yeah,
Hmm.
that shit is super underrated until you try it. I feel like
Yeah.
it's like wait, it just blows your mind. Like, why doesn't every game do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're all switching to Rocket League now. That's how we're gonna end it.
Thank God, dude.
The
Yeah, you know what?
Rockest Hour.
Bro, he may have a different car, but it's not better than yours. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
There. His drip though.
This was a fun one. It sucks that we couldn't get OnePeg to stand for the Q&A, but I get it. The guy had to get on a plane 5 hours later, so no hate there. I hope he has a good trip. Spuddy, Katie, thank you both for joining us for episode 55.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
thank
good
you.
to be here.
Yeah. I was like, oh shit, how long are they going to stay silent for? Do I got to say something else? Shit. No,
Sorry.
no,
it's
all
good to be
good.
here.
No, so great. We will get you guys back on for solo episodes, another roundtable, maybe a dev cast if you guys are interested.
Ooh.
I don't know, maybe we could talk about it.
fun.
Spud's like, I don't know, fuck that. No, but we'll
I'll be like, no, get that man off the table. Get him off. Get him out of here. He won't
No,
shut
you
the
might
fuck
actually go toe to toe with Terry, bro. Imagine
SDF
Terry's
will
fun.
come on for that, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, we'll talk. We'll figure out some more spots for sure, and definitely get Terry and SDF on with you guys eventually. Yeah, this is a good one. Donnie, tell us where we can find you on the internet.
Yeah, I have older YouTube videos, and I stream sometimes at Donnie with 2 E's at the end. So come check me out.
All right, Mr. Griffia.
Jay Griffey on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube.
Cool.
That's all I got.
Nice. Mr. SpudHunter.
SpudHunter, OnlyFans, Twitch, Pornhub, YouTube. Same old story.
Nice.
It's actually banned in my state. I can't tune in to you on Pornhub anymore.
Damn.
It's banned in
Hold on, sorry to
Texas.
hijack the end. Really?
Yeah, they banned it. Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
Or no,
man.
they didn't
All
ban it. No, they didn't ban it, but there's some sort of
You need
regulation
like
that
your ID
Pornhub.
card. I reckon that's what it is. You need your social credit number and all that kind of shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah.
Photo ID. Yeah. All right.
Texas.
Katie, what's your handles?
Texas is the
Katie on
this.
Twitch?
Sorry,
There you go.
sorry, I just stepped on you, Katie.
Oh, you're
Katie on Twitch. Is that it? Is there no YouTube channel?
That's
There's-
it.
Okay.
Oh, Katie, we're on YouTube, but
There you
don't
go.
post too much content. But
Do it. YouTube's the
Twitch.
way. Trust. Do it.
Twitch. I should.
Do
I
it.
should.
Do
I
it.
learn how to edit.
Do
I
it.
suck at editing.
Do it.
More
Just
videos.
drag
More
it off
videos
the
from
VOD
everyone,
over.
please. More videos from everybody. Yeah, Texas is the land of the free, the state that cares about freedom most. That's why they ban shit like abortion and porn. It makes sense to me. I don't know. Very America.
Damn right.
Get her done.
You godless heathens.
Yep. I am at Soma on everything except YouTube. It's at _Soma where you can watch this podcast and 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons shit if you're into that nerdy stuff. I realize most people are not. But if you are a D&D nerd, we have a really good campaign going. And we're pretty sweaty about the game. And our DM is like the Dark Souls of Dungeon Masters. It's pretty hard. It's pretty cool. So check that out if you want. We will be on next week, which is April 2nd. It's episode 56, and it's just going to be Jay, Donnie, and myself. We're going to do just a regular old school podcast, no guest, and we might not even talk about Dark and Darker the whole time. We might go a little off the rails and crazy like we did a few weeks back. That was one of my favorite episodes ever. It was hilarious. So tune in for that.
The drug episode.
Your favorite. Yep. Your favorite. But anyway, Katie, Spud, thank you so much for joining. OnePeg, thank you out there in internet land. Appreciate you. Chat, I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, have a great night.
Bye.
Hit your
Goodbye.
Spud, hit it.
Yeah.
No, let them hit it.
Hit the goodbye.
Bye bye.